Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We are here for the first Saturday game of the 31st season of the Premier League. Fulham return to the Premier League once again after demolishing the Championship with 90 points and 106 goals scored, which is the second most ever goals scored in a single Championship season. Once again, Liverpool start a new season being favourites to battle with Manchester City over the title after missing out by 1 point last season on the last day. Last season, Liverpool beat newly promoted Norwich away from home, so they hope to replicate a similar result today in this lunchtime kickoff at Craven Cottage. Fulham need to be careful. They are on track to equal a top-flight record of 7 home losses in a row after losing their last 6 at home in the Premier League when they were last in this division in the 2020-2021 season. So, for the 72nd meeting between Fulham and Liverpool, can Fulham upset the odds with a positive result, or will Liverpool carry on their momentum for the season after their Community Shield victory last week against Manchester City? Big news, as you can see on the screen, Darwin Núñez is on the bench. He's gone for the exact same lineup as the Community Shield final. Only change is that Adrian drops to the bench as Alisson returns to full fitness. And then for Fulham as well, the home side, we have got some changes in their teams in terms of new signings for the new season as well, after being promoted from the Championship. If you are new, please like and subscribe. Kick off just under 7 minutes away. I'll go through the lineups and then everything like that. But they've got some new signings as well, some on the bench and a couple starting. So I'll go through them very shortly. But it is great to be back. Premier League football's back. It was a great first game yesterday. Crystal Palace Arsenal. Fantasy football players will be buzzing with some of the points collected by Zinchenko, and for me personally, Martinelli. I had him in my team. But no, it's just great to see the Premier League back. It just feels right, doesn't it, for it to be back, even though it wasn't gone for too long. But football fans were greedy. We want football all the time, so we're very glad it's back. I say the Football League returned last week. It's like the Championship, League One, League Two. The National League returns today as well. The fifth tier non-league. That was a great ending to that league that season. So if you're interested, maybe supporting your local team who might be in the fifth tier, sixth tier, go and get down there. It is great. I go to my local team. And yeah, it's good fun. It can be hard to watch sometimes, but it's great to watch. And also last week, in my last commentary, it was the Friday night game, Huddersfield against Burnley, and that was 2 days before the Euros final for the women, which they came home and won. A fantastic result, 2-1 in extra time against Germany. Great to see. And throughout the season, I'll commentate some women's games. I've been watching the women's games, especially internationally, since around 2015, the World Cup there. I can't remember where it was, but England got to the semi-final that time. So I've been watching it for a while, so I'll definitely bring some women commentaries throughout the season, if it obviously fits right. Thanks to everyone who's here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Again, the thumbnail, smashed it again, my mate Ben. His Instagram is down below. It's at @bbruntsdesign. He can do everything: websites, thumbnails, channel banners, profile picture, name it, and he can do it for you. So make sure you check his Instagram out down below. We're just under 5 minutes from kickoff, so I'll go through the lineups and we'll start with the home team. The number one from last season, Marek Rodak, starts in goal. New signing Bernd Leno from Arsenal is on the bench. Kenny Tete, Tosin Adarabioyo, Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson all starts as a back four. The main players who did play last season in the Championship, so no new arrivals in the defence to start the new season. Two holding midfielders of Harrison Reed, who's been ever present now at the club since August of 2020, as he signed permanently after a good season the season before. He plays alongside new signing João Palhinha from Sporting Lisbon. The 27-year-old joins after spending 9 years of his career at Sporting Lisbon. See if he can help Fulham guide the way from the relegation zone with a bit of nice football in the midfield, because I do like Harrison Reed as a player. I think he's nice. He likes to keep the game ticking, so maybe someone alongside him of similar quality can help Fulham progress forward and score goals that they'll need to stay up for. And then ahead of them is Andres Pereira, signed from Manchester United on a permanent deal as well. So finally off the books for Manchester United. The Brazilian right wing is Decordova Reid, who scored in the 1-1 draw at the stadium the last time Fulham were in the Premier League. On the left, we've got Nizhkens Cabano, who scored 9 goals in the Championship last season, 2 of them being braces against Blackburn and Bristol City. And then the main man up front 43 championship goals last season in 44 championship appearances. Alexander Mitrovic returns back to the Premier League. He's got 24 Premier League goals in 104 appearances previously in this league. He'll need to be scoring a good 10, 15, 20 goals for Fulham if they want to be staying up. He's going to be very, very important. Then on the bench, new signing Bernd Leno, new signing Kevin Mbabu from Wolfsburg, new signing Shane Duffy as well from Brighton. He joined yesterday on loan, so that's not quite ready enough to start, but that's a good signing. Experienced centre-back Shane Duffy at the age of 30 years old. Tom Kearney, club captain, is only fit for the bench. He's had many injuries. He's had an unbelievable amount of injuries. In fact, 15 since 2016. He's missed 492 days of football with injury. Tom Kearney, he's on the bench. Luke Harris, 17-year-old, born in 2005, makes the bench after impressing in pre-season. That's alongside Tyrese Francois, the central midfielder. New signing from Shakhtar Donetsk on loan is Manor Solomon, the Israeli winger. He's only fit for the bench. Rodrigo Muniz, the striker, he scored 5 last season in the Championship. He's also alongside Jay Stansfield on the bench, the striker, 19 years of age. He's got 4 first-team appearances with 1 goal against Birmingham in the League Cup last season. Is it time for youngsters to get more minutes? Because we've got 5 substitutes this season as well for each team, so we'll hopefully see a lot more youngsters getting some minutes on the pitch. That's Fulham's team. For Liverpool, Alisson back in net. Fantastic news for Liverpool. Signed back in 2018 from Roma. Safe pair of hands. He got the most clean sheets alongside Ederson last season in the Premier League with 20, 27 in all competitions. Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Van Dijk and Andrew Robertson start as the back four. It's pretty much forever present, that back four. Usually, Ibrahima Konate got involved last season, but he's ruled out with an injury in their last pre-season game against Strasbourg last week, so it looks like it's going to be that back four for the good start of the season, unless Joe Gomez can try and break into the team ahead of Joel Matip. Holding midfielder of Fabinho racked up 48 appearances in all competitions last season, alongside 8 goals. Jordan Henson-Thiago play alongside him in that midfield with Mohamed Salah on the right. New contract for him in the summer, signing a new 3-year deal with the club. He's got 120 goals in the Premier League and 190 appearances, a lot of them obviously coming for Liverpool. Roberto Firmino starts a lot ahead of Darwin Núñez. Didn't play as many Premier League games as he would have liked to last season. He only started 10 games last season, Firmino. A lot of also games he was injured, but he'll play alongside January signing of last season, Luis Diaz, signed for 37 million plus all the add-ons that are involved. He's already won 3 trophies with Liverpool, Luis Diaz. He's averaging a trophy every 9 games, Luis Diaz. What a start to his career. He was linked to Everton and Spurs within the January and the summer transfer window that season, but he decided to join Liverpool, and what a start he's had so far. On the bench, they've got Adrian, who conceded the 1 goal last week in the Community Shield final. Joe Gomez, Stefan Bajcetic, the 17-year-old defender, the Spaniard, who's made the bench for the first time in the first team. Sepp van den Berg spent the last 15 months on loan at Preston. He's back on the bench for the first team. Luke Chambers, the young 18-year-old left-back, also in the on the bench as well. He can play centre-half. He's looking for his first ever first-team appearance. Forever present, James Milner, starting his 23rd Premier League season in his career, is on the bench with Fabio Carvalho, formerly of Fulham, alongside Harvey Elliott, formerly of Fulham as well. And obviously the main man, Darwin Núñez, starts on the bench for Liverpool. So they're the 2 teams. Kickoff is literally any moment now. So make sure you like, subscribing, get your predictions in the chat as well. Let me know what your thinking is behind this game and who's going to take the win. As we all take the knee, once again, it has come out they're going to limit the taking of the knee, but they've started for the first game of the season to continue the gesture. There's no room for racism in football or in society in general, and we are underway. It's Fulham kicking left to right, Liverpool right to left. Liverpool started with kick-off, sent it long and diagonally towards their left-hand side. It went over everyone, and it's a Fulham throw with Kenny Tetty at right back. He clears it up the field after getting the return. Only as far as Virgil van Dijk, who goes back to Alisson, and we are underway in this lunchtime kick-off at Craven Cottage, an iconic, unique stadium in the Premier League. It's good to have it back as well, even though they have been a yo-yo side in the last 5 seasons. Fulham, their last 5 seasons, have had 3 of them in the Championship, 2 of them in the Premier League, and Mitrovic gets on the end of a sloppy clearance from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he pokes towards goal in the 18-yard box, and it was always snaking wide from the Serbian, but he wants to try and continue his goal-scoring form from last season, and like I say, Alexander-Arnold's poor clearance deflected off a Fulham man straight into the feet of Alexander Mitrovic, who first touch was good, and he was able to get a few more touches away into the box, and like I say, he poked it towards goal, but it was always heading wide as Matip runs out from the back, pokes it forward. It's intercepted by Kenny Teti, who works it back to his goalkeeper, Marek Rodak, in the 18-yard box as he clears up the field first time, up towards the halfway line, where it goes over Thiago's head and Mitrovic's head, headed forward by Matip to Thiago, tries to take it on the turn. Harrison Reed wins it back and takes on Fabinho, but loses out to Thiago. Henderson out to right back, Alexander-Arnold, and Liverpool back in possession again on the halfway line. As Fulham will look to put early pressure on today's opponents. Liverpool finishing second again last season, 92 points it was, won 28 of their 38 games, only losing twice, both away from home to West Ham 3-2 and Leicester 1-0. Robertson swings it down the left-hand side. It's an adventurous ball and it will be nowhere near Luis Diaz, who applauds the attempt, and it's into the hands of Marek Rodak, who will need to have quite the game because they've obviously brought in Bernd Leno from Arsenal for around £8 million, one of their 6 summer signings they've brought in so far. He's just taking his time. He kicks it out of his hands, up the field, into the Liverpool half, where Van Dijk wins the header on Mitrovic, only as far as Cabano, who brings it down, just about keeps it on the right, tries to take on Thiago, and he does do so beautifully. Inside it goes to Andres Pereira, former with Manchester United, pokes it back out to Cabano. Can he get a crossing? He does. Across it goes, deflects as well, so it's difficult for Alisson to deal with. But there's an offside flag in it anyway. It went across goal, and it was missed, I think, by Deco Dover-Reed. Let's have a look here again. Cabano getting past Thiago beautifully, out to Pereira, who worked it to Cabano again. Would have been a close one. The linesman kept his flag down, and Cabano put a crossing towards Reed, who just about missed it as it was deflected. So it would have been a close call, but the linesman gave it offside after the play finished. Like I say, 3 minutes in, good start for Fulham. You know, they need to be careful. Liverpool can switch it on at any time with the plays they have on the pitch. And one of them is Virgil van Dijk, goes for a long ball into the Fulham half. What a ball, brought down by Salah. Tried to find Alexander-Arnold, who's got forward, and the right-back spot is exposed for Liverpool, and Deco Dover-Reed will look to burst into that space, into the final third. Holds the ball up, plays it to Robinson, the left-back, who's got forward, crosses it in towards Mitrovic, header won by Matip, heads it down to Fabinho, forward to Diaz, lays off towards Thiago, who's sandwiched by 2 Fulham players of Alexander Mitrovic, and I think Kenny Tete as well. He gets up straight away, Thiago, but like I say, he was in the Fulham sandwich there. Definitely a foul by both of them, I think. Don't think either of them got a touch on the ball. No, they didn't. Both of them taking out Thiago as he went flying into the sky. But the Spaniard's okay, and we're back underway with Liverpool on the ball with Alisson. He needs the 18-yard box sign for £66.8 million 4 years ago from Roma. He's only kept the 1 clean sheet against Fulham, and that was back in 2018. Obviously, last time Fulham were in the Premier League, back in 2020, 2021, they did not lose to Liverpool. They got a 1-1 draw at home. And then Lamina scored for Fulham to win the game 1-0 just before half-time. That was when Liverpool was on their big rot of home results. It was Liverpool's 6th loss in a row at home in all competitions. Form we've never seen, really, under Klopp, until that COVID season where there was no fans. They had no centre-backs as well. Did end up finishing 3rd that season behind Manchester United and Manchester City. As Marek Rodak, the goalkeeper, sends it forward. Long ball towards Mitrovic, header won by Van Dijk, only as far as Pereira. Knocks down to Deco Dover-Reed, back out to Pereira, who's peeled out wide left. Robinson's making an overlapping run, but Pereira puts it in himself. It's nowhere near Mitrovic. Easy collection for Alisson, who rolls it forward into the midfield. Poked forward by Henderson. Finds Diaz, who's brought down. Fine, says the referee. As Fulham are back in possession, Palhinha. Deco Dover-Reed to Pereira, getting some early touches on the ball, the midfielder. Using the left-back Robinson, who's got forward. Gets the return. Pereira on the byline, pulls it back, and it's off Joel Matip. Corner Fulham. Good little ball there from Pereira. It was going into a dangerous area and had to be defended by the Cameroon international, Joel Matip. Played 31 Premier League games last season, Joel Matip, and in his 6th season, it was his first ever time playing 30 or more Premier League games in a season. Fulham have got a corner. It's an in-swinger. In it goes towards the 6-yard area, headed away by Matip, who conceded the corner. Back in it goes by Reed. Flicked on towards Deco Dover-Reed. Can't quite get beyond Van Dijk. He can play it to Arnold, who goes for the switch towards Salah. cleared by Robinson to Ream. Tries to go around the corner, can't find a Fulham shirt. Van Dijk has it. And yeah, again, like I say, for Fulham, Tim Ream starting the season again, 34-year-old centre-back. His first set of appearances in the Premier League. Last time they were in this division. Didn't play many times though, Tim Ream, when they were last in the Premier League. Only the 7 times he played, 31 times he sat on the bench without collecting any minutes. But with the arrival of Shane Duffy, he might have limited appearances again, Tim Ream. There's a good 1-2 between Thiago and Diaz, and Thiago tries a ball that probably he could only pull off, but this time he misjudged the weight of the ball, and out it goes for a goal kick, trying to find Mo Salah in behind, who has scored in every single opening day since he's been at the club, and that's the last 5 seasons. He's always scored on the opening day against the likes of Norwich, also Leeds as well a couple seasons ago. They do like playing promoted teams on the first day, Liverpool. Rodak plays it forward up towards Mitrovic. Again, header won by Van Dijk. It's in the air, it loops up. Fabinho helps on, only as far as Polina. Good ball over the top to the left-hand side to Deco Dovereed in the box. Tries a pull back again, it's blocked off by Matip. And it can be dealt with Firmino in a right-back area. Dropped deep to help his team out. And he wins the throw-in for his side. Doing his defensive duties there, the Brazilian, Roberto Firmino, as they do work it from the throw-in, and it's cleared long by Trent Alexander-Arnold, brought down by Salah towards Diaz, well won back by Fulham on the halfway, and they win a throw-in as Robinson tries to clear down the line, but it comes off captain Jordan Henderson, who's starting his 12th Premier League season at Liverpool. The Sunderland-born midfielder joined back in 2011 for a fee around 16 to 20 million. And what a signing he's been, as the throw-in goes long towards Mitrovic, who's pulled out to the left-hand side in the final third, 1-on-1 with Joel Matip. Cameroon international can't quite get a foot in. Robinson, back down the line again it goes. Great ball. Reed in the 18-yard box. Needs a good pull back straight down the throat of Alisson. They're getting in behind well for them, and they're getting pullbacks, but they're either being intercepted or going straight into the hands of Alisson. That was well worked. Deco Dovereed getting it in behind to Harrison Reed, who may have just been offside. But as he went for the pullback towards the near post, towards Cabano, it was collected by the Brazilian Alisson in the Liverpool goal. We are 8.5 minutes in. No real chance yet for Liverpool. Fulham's had a few half chances, a few half cutbacks that haven't quite materialised into any big chances where Alisson's been disturbed at all, as Matip's misplaced pass deflects off a Fulham man to Fabinho, but then he loses out. And again, Fulham getting possession back quickly, which they'll need to be doing the entire game. As here is Tosin Adarabioyo, formed with Manchester City. To the right back, Kenny Teti tries to go in behind towards Mitrovic, cut out by Van Dijk, falls to Thiago, who loses out to Kenny Teti, and it's a throw-in for the Fulham right back. Takes it quickly in the Liverpool half, gets the return from Harrison Reed. Nice ball to Mitrovic, lays it off into Reed, trying to get it forward to Cabano, comes off the head of Robertson. And Cabano lets it run for another throw-in, deeper into the Liverpool half. Again, a great positive start here for Fulham. Thrown by Teti into Cabano. Back into Cabano again. Tete at right back. Tries the cross. Deflects back to Reed. Tete again. Left foot. Swings it in. Swung away by Van Dijk. Thrown for Fulham again. Great start from the home side. As you might have seen, in the last season they were in the Premier League, their new stand was getting built, and it's nearly completed. No one yet can fill those stands, as it'll be fully complete for the new 2023-2024 season. That's next season where it will be fully complete. And it'll raise the attendance from 25,700 to 29,600. It's been a long wait for that stand, but soon it'll be open. As Mitrovic in the corner flag on the right-hand side, can't quite keep it in ahead of the Liverpool supporters, as Robertson will have that thrown in the corner flag. The Scotsman, absolute bargain of £8 million when he was signed in 2017. Had his highest scoring Premier League season last season with the 3 goals coming against Spurs, Everton and Wolves. That Wolves goal on the last day of the season. It's Liverpool struggling to clear here, and it's a throw-in for Fulham inside the Liverpool half. It's been a good start for Marco Silva's men. The 45-year-old manager, whose last game in charge of Everton was against Liverpool in an away loss, which was 5-2 with the Toffees. Polina, the Sporting Lisbon midfield, well, former Sporting Lisbon midfielder, heads out for a Liverpool throw-in. His Fulham can't quite keep possession. Actually, if you are new, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Liverpool will win. Liverpool are only a cup team, can't and won't win the league. They have struggled to win leagues in previous seasons when coming up against Manchester City. Obviously, they won it in the COVID season back in 2019-2020. But since then, they've always come second best to Manchester City, and will that be the same story again? I have to wait and see how this season unfolds. Van Dijk, long ball over the top. Header won by Tete. Well, as far as Henderson, who nods it out wide left to Firmino. Nearly bullied off the ball by Harrison Reed, but he is off the ball a few seconds later as Cabano takes it away from him. Bit of battle in the midfield, and Roberto Firmino does come out with it in the end, but then loses it as his pass is intercepted by Kenny Tete, and it's now with Tosin Adarabioyo. Plays it to his goalkeeper, who clears up first time, looking for Mitrovic. Again, header won by Van Dijk on halfway, where Thiago and Polina both battle for a header. Goes back towards Van Dijk, then Polina heads it forward again to Decordova-Reid, who has space and time to control, lays it to Mitrovic. Good ball out wide left to Pereira, the new number 18 for Fulham. On his right foot, can he work across? He's been defended by Alexander-Arnold, but he goes back to Polina, who lays off to Ream. Quick passing play here from Fulham. Really impressed with their first 12 minutes back in the Premier League. Cabano, the number 7. Fulham with PSG. Tries to take on Andy Robertson. The Scotsman has none of that. And Alisson has to clear on the edge of it with the outside of his boot. And out for Fulham throwing in the Liverpool half. Liverpool need to get a grip here. I know they've got quite a few injuries, but it's still the strongest team they could probably field, even with players that are not fit. The only player who started the Champions League final who isn't at the club anymore is obviously Sadio Mane. And it's pretty much the same team that started the Champions League final, bar Konate starting ahead of Joel Matip. So can't have any excuses in terms of the injuries in that sense. And then even so, their bench is very, very stacked. Obviously Darwin Núñez, the man who's come from around 80 million with the add-on 67.5 additional fee. Original fee. But they've got Fabio Carvalho, who they poached from Fulham for £5 million. He's come up towards the end of his contract. Harvey Elliott as well, who is the youngest ever player to play in the Premier League for Fulham. So they've definitely got depth for Liverpool, despite the injuries, as Alexander-Arnold's ball down the line looking for Mo Salah's come off the knee of Anthony Robinson, and it'll be a throw in for Alexander-Arnold as Liverpool finally get their feet into the Fulham half. It's gone back to Joel Matip on halfway, ball forward to Thiago, back to Joel Matip, who hasn't played for Cameroon since 2015 after a fallout with his nation. That's always good for Klopp. Joel Matip never going away on international duty. Diaz tries to turn the Fulham midfield, and he did do so, but he couldn't get beyond the defender Adarabioyo for Fulham. Now back to Thiago. Van Dijk. To Fabinho. Liverpool did win their last 2 Premier League games of the season, despite conceding in the first 15 minutes both times. Nearly up to 15 minutes, and they're not trailing yet. Robertson gets it inside to Firmino. Touch to Salah. Lays it back off to Firmino. Inside of the box. Lays it forward. Robertson. First chance for Liverpool. Big save for Rodak. And then the flag goes up. Play continues. Diaz curls into the far corner, but then the flag goes up and the referee blows his whistle. Diaz thought he had Liverpool's first goal of the season there, but the flag had already gone up by the time he had his shot. It went up after Robertson's strike at goal, where it's saved by Rodak. Good touch from Firmino to get to Salah. Back into Firmino, and as he played it through to Robertson, he's about 2 yards offside. Well offside. He tried to place it beyond Rodak. He didn't know he was offside at the time, so it was needed from the number 1 for Fulham. Like I say, good finish from Luis Diaz to curl it right into that top corner. But like I say, the flag was already up after the Robertson shot, so, despite a good finish, it was never going to count, and we're back underway. Clearly offside there, Andy Robertson, but it just shows Fulham first chance for Liverpool in 15 minutes, and they've got the ball in the back of the net. Yes, it was disallowed, but, it shows how quick they can turn and get chances. As Matip goes on one of his runs from the back, plays it forward into Firmino, and Matip continues his run as Salah's fed in the right-hand side. Matip carries on his run as Salah looks for him in the pull-back, but it's Tim Ream who intercepts and clears only as far as Alexander-Arnold, who then plays a left-footed ball back to Van Dijk, and Liverpool just getting in their stride now, worrying Fulham slightly, because Fulham have lost the opening day 5 times in a row when promoted to the First Division. Not a great record to have, never starting off with a victory. Robertson just inside the Liverpool half goes across to Joel Matip, who does have a contract now till 2024, so still got a little bit of time to run on that. Salah tries to go for a ball into the box towards the on-rushing Jordan Henderson, but it's intercepted by Fulham, and they try and clear it forward up towards Mitrovic. He's going to give chase ahead of Van Dijk, but the Dutchman gets there beyond the Serbian, and it's now with Andy Robertson. Down the left-hand side, he goes towards Luis Diaz, gets a touch ahead of Kenny Teti, and he's caught him late. But the play continues as Liverpool go for a long switch up towards Salah. Just about keeps it, pokes it inside to Henderson. Back out to Salah again. Not sure if Luis Diaz is still on the floor. I think he is. The referee's having to stop play. I think he's going to go and book Kenny Teti. He is. It was a late challenge from the Dutch full-back. He's complaining, but it was dangerous. The ball was well gone by the time he put the challenge in. Robertson to Diaz. Just got there. Definitely a yellow. Dangerous ball. Like I said, it was there to be won in fairness, but the Colombian got there first and he was completely swiped out by Kenny Tete, the right back formerly of Lyon. So back underway, Alexander-Arnold. Early cross into the box, goes all the way across the 18-yard area. Robertson will give chase, but it's Kenny Tete to clear. The Dutch right back, who's now on a booking, so he has to be careful on that Fulham right-hand side. So if you are new, please like and subscribe. Would be much appreciated. Just over 17 minutes played. Liverpool started to get in their flow. Robertson throwing to Diaz towards the corner flag. Blocked in by two Fulham players. Trying to work his magic, but he's tackled by Kenny Tete, and it'll be a Liverpool throw-in, which Andy Robertson will take. Signed a contract extension this time last year. The Scotsman. It's now with Thiago from the throw-in. Cabano puts him under pressure, so he goes back and across to the halfway line to Joel Matip. Like I say, we know he likes his runs from the back, but he just lays it off into Salah, who drops slightly deeper for the ball. Gets it down the line to Alexander-Arnold. Onside, crosses. Well cut out by the number 4. They've Tosin Adarabioyo. Had to get there at the near post because we know how good Alexander-Arnold is at supplying crosses. Got the 12 Premier League assists last season, 19 in all competitions, and he throws it into Firmino in the box. Henderson crossing again, dealt with by Adarabioyo. Back out to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He goes back to Van Dijk as Liverpool reset. And like I say, they're starting to feel their way into this game. The team who were founded now 130 years ago, back in 1892. And with that Community Shield victory, Thiago goes for a pass back to Alisson, controls it beautifully, but if he misplaced that touch, it could have been dangerous for Liverpool as they do restart with their goalkeeper. Now, like I said, with that Community Shield win last week against Manchester City, they've now won all 4 domestic trophies under Jurgen Klopp. Obviously, the Premier League back in 2020, Community Shield in 2022, the FA Cup as well last season, alongside the League Cup, doing the double there, beating Chelsea both times on penalties at Wembley. Didn't need penalties though last week. 3-1 victory against what looks a bit of a lacklustre Manchester City. Salah tries an interchanging ball towards Henderson on the byline, asking a bit too much of the former Sunderland midfielder. And he goes out for a goal kick. He did give chase to it, Jordan Henderson, but didn't quite have the pace to keep it in. This is appearance number 397 for Jordan Henderson, creeping up towards appearance 400. Where obviously some of them came for Sunderland, but the majority for Liverpool, the 32-year-old. Referee for today's game, by the way, is Andy Madley, 33 years of age. Was the referee for Liverpool versus Southampton last season. His first Premier League match was back in 2018. Yet to have a goal so far, but it has been an interesting encounter so far. Fulham started the first 10 minutes off nicely, but then the next 10 minutes after, Liverpool started to come into their own. With the first big chance of the game, Robertson having his shot saved in the box, but it was well offside, so he wouldn't have stood even if he had put the ball in the net, which Diaz did do, but it was way beyond the flag going up after Diaz's nice tidy finish. But Liverpool have it back from the Fulham throw-in. Alexander-Arnold, poor clearance, held back forward by Palhinha, the Portuguese international. Now to the Brazilian Andres Pereira on the left, looking for a ball in behind towards Mitrovic, again collected by Alisson, but the thinking's there from the Brazilian. Signed from Manchester United. 4 loan spells whilst at the club, 2 of them in Spain, 1 of them in Italy, and then 1 of them in Brazil, in his home nation. As Alisson kicks out of his hands towards Salah, dealt with by Tim Ream and volleyed forward by Anthony Robertson into the Liverpool half. Matip has to deal with it with a header. As far as Pellegrini, who heads it straight to the feet of Thiago. He looks to set away Luis Diaz on the left-hand side. Kenny Teti has to be careful. He's on a booking. Diaz flicks it over his head to Robertson. Great ball. He takes it inside Robertson. Good skill. Dinks it in towards the far post. It's an important header by Robinson because that looked like it was going straight onto the left foot of Mo Salah. As the American fullback clears, only as far as Matip gets it forward to Thiago. Has to poke it back towards Fabinho as Fulham try to nick the ball and counter. Again, Liverpool coming close. It's with Firmino, who's dropped into the space. Diaz, the number 23, put under pressure. So is Henderson, but he's able to see off the pressure from the number 14, Cordova-Reid. So now Fabinho sprays it to the right to Alexander-Arnold on the byline, crosses it, and it's a floater, and it's a header by Salah over the bar and into the Fulham fans behind that goal. And like I say, Liverpool just slowly knocking on this Fulham door, trying to create chances. No big ones so far, because like I say, the two big chances they had with 2 shots on at goal, they were both offside. Matip just shoving Pereira off the ball there as they poked it back towards Fabinho to restart. Like I say, great flick over the head of Kenny Teti to Robertson, who took on Cabano. Then, like I say, floated it towards Salah. Looked like he was ready to volley that from 8 yards out. But Anthony Robinson got a header away from the Egyptian and was able to clear afterwards as well. Kick up towards Mitrovic, goes over him and Robertson, but it falls to Cabano, who's fouled by Van Dijk on the Fulham right-hand side. It does look like Cordova-Reid starting on the left-hand side and Neeskens Cabano on the right. Yeah, Cabano, the DR Congo international, joined back in August 2016 from Genk. Only racked up 5 appearances in the Premier League last time they were in this division before being shipped out on loan to Middlesbrough for the rest of that season. But he's got a chance here to show his colours in the Premier League, Cabano. Does seem to be liked by Marco Silva, who played him 44 times in all competitions last season. But it will be Pereira to swing this ball into the box. It's a high line for Liverpool, but Fulham could try and breach it here. Here he goes, swings it in. It's a great ball, and Tim Ream wins the header. It goes across to Cabano on the right. Really misplays the header, but it's pulled back. Shot by Pellegrini. He has a second bite at the cherry as it's blocked by Joel Matip. Corner for Fulham. Pellegrini's coming close. The new signing from Sporting Lisbon. Signed for £20 million, and he was put in. Tim Ream completely miscued his header. Went to the right-hand side to Cabano, who won the free kick. Pulled back towards Pellegrini, deflects off Diaz. He had one shot, deflected, second strike, blocked by Matip. And Pereira can put another cross in here. Here he goes, it's an outswinger. Headed towards the back post here, towards Tim Ream. It's dealt with by Liverpool. Mitrovic won the original header. It's been cleared by Liverpool, as I say. And it's back with Harrison Reed on the halfway. Tries to go in behind for Mitrovic. He's got to be offside. He is. The flag's gone up early. That's how far offside he was. Positive play again for Fulham. Like I said, they conceded a few chances at the other end, but they're creating chances of their own. They might be half chances, but they're chances nonetheless. That was close enough for that offside. Just getting ahead of Andy Robertson on that Fulham right-hand side. But Jurgen Klopp did say about Fulham how they did extremely well last season in the Championship. In his press conference, he said, the way they played, it's difficult to do that in the Championship, playing nice, tidy football, because the sides you come up against, they try and make it ugly for you and make it hard for you. So he did have praise for Fulham, the way they got promoted last season, finishing top of the Championship. Van Dijk on halfway, switches towards the right to Alexander-Arnold. He's got a little bit forward into the Fulham half, but he can't get that pass from Van Dijk as it was intercepted before it could get to him. Fulham have to be careful here. Pellegrini's been intercepted. Henderson, ball forward, looking for Diaz on the Liverpool right. Well cleared by Robinson up towards Cabano on the Fulham right-hand side. Can't win it ahead of Robertson, and Thiago helps it back to Van Dijk. And once again, it's Liverpool back in possession on the halfway line. Like I said, the last time they played at Craven Cottage, these two sides, it was back in mid-November 2020, where Cordova-Reid did give Fulham the lead in the 25th minute, and that was cancelled out by a Salah penalty in the 79th minute as Mitrovic has dispossessed Joel Matip. But then the other way round has happened, where Mitrovic has been dispossessed by Matip, shoved to the ground. They wanted a free kick, but it would have been a soft one to give. And now Robertson can get forward for Liverpool as he's got a switch from the Liverpool right. His ball inside's poor towards Diaz, and he's pulled Mitrovic down, trying to win the ball back. That's a free kick for Fulham inside their own half. And like I say, they are definitely holding themselves strong here, Fulham, to start the season. Obviously, a lot of them have got them tipped for relegation after a bit of a lacklustre transfer window, only bringing in 6 players, but they've been decent players. I think I do like the signings they've made. Like Polina from Sporting, Pereira from Manchester United for 10 million, Kevin Mbabu for 6 million from Wolfsburg, who's on the bench, a quick Swiss right back. Bernd Leno, who's Premier League proven with Arsenal, and then Manor Solomon from Shakhtar Donetsk, who's scored a couple of goals in Europe, in the Europa League and Champions League. And then, like I say, they brought in Shane Duffy from Brighton on loan last night. So I think it's positive signings, but I think Fulham just wanted a bit more depth in their side, as they've given away the ball here. Diaz to Firmino, out to Robertson on the left. Plays it forward first time to Diaz, back to goal. Adebayo tries to make it hard for him, but Diaz is allowed to turn as he keeps trying to go back, and he's been brought down cynically by Cabano. And it'll be a free kick for Liverpool in the Fulham half, given by Andy Madley, who just needs to keep a hold of this game. Some Fulham players are becoming a little bit stressed out, as he's being surrounded there by 3 Fulham players. Only 2 now, having a word with Tim Ream, the club captain, and Mitrovic, who's captain when Tim Ream isn't playing. The American, Tim Ream, 34 years of age, the centre-half. Like I say, I think his days are numbered now. Shane Duffy's been brought in. Like another heavy challenge on a Liverpool player, that time by Cabano and Diaz. He's been brought down a few times, the Colombian winger. Like I say, Neeskens Cabano, formerly off PSG, was there from 2006 to 2013. Made 9 appearances for the first team as well before being moved on. Chance for Liverpool to get the ball in the box. Alexander-Arnold runs over it. Robertson swings it in. Headed one by Adebayo. Only for Salah on the edge. Lays it off down the line to Fabinho. Tries to pull back. Blocks by Tim Ream. Corner kick for Liverpool. First corner of the game for the Reds. They've got monumental height in that box when it comes to corner. Joel Matip 6'5", Van Dijk 6'4", Fabinho 6'2" as well. Plenty of players over 6 foot in this Liverpool side. But Alexander-Arnold to take on that right hand side. So it'll be an out swinging cross from the number 66. He's been at this club since the age of 6. He swings it in towards Van Dijk, header won by Mitrovic. Looks like Henderson on the edge. Shot blocked by Mitrovic. Falls to Salah. Plays it back towards the box, but everyone had moved back into the Fulham line to not be offside. And it's collected by Rodak, who sends away Andres Pereira quick on the left-hand side. Robertson will chase. He'll get there ahead of Brazilian. Can't deal with it very well, so Pereira's won it back. He gets an early cross in off the head of Henderson. Corner for Fulham. Back to front very quickly from the team in black and white. Great ball from Rodak to send away Pereira quickly on the left. Robertson came over to cover on the Liverpool right. Didn't deal with it sufficiently, and Pereira could win it back. Crossed it in towards Deco-Dover-Reed, and it was a vital interception from the captain, Jordan Henderson. And then Pereira to take this corner. In-swinger. In it goes. Trying to catch out Alisson, but it hits the side netting. It's a bit of a waste from the Brazilian. But just under half an hour in, Fulham 0, Liverpool 0. It's been an exciting start to this Saturday lunchtime fixture. Like I say, Fulham have definitely held their own so far, despite not making too many clear-cut chances. Leeds fan wanting Liverpool to win. Is that maybe because you might be in a relegation scrap with Fulham this year? Maybe. I'll have to wait and see. I do like the business Leeds have done this summer, bringing a lot of promising youngsters, but it's if they can adapt to the Premier League and if they can adapt to the loss of Calvin Phillips and Rafinha as well. 2 big losses, but they have cooped about 100 million between the 2 players from Manchester City and Barcelona. I'll have to wait and see if they actually get the money off Barcelona first. As it's just controlled possession with Liverpool, with Joel Matip in their own half. Salah gets it stuck between his feet and loses out, and Fulham can clear up the field towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Matip can't clear it well. Robinson into Mitrovic, back out to Robinson. Crosses it all the way to the edge to Harrison Reed. Big block from Robertson. Header by Henderson. Robertson tries to dribble out, loses out. Cabano in the box on the right. Balls it across up beyond Mitrovic. And away it goes for a throw-in for Liverpool on the opposite side. And Fulham are really making a game of this as Mitrovic has gone down. That's not great to see. Like I say, Robertson tried to dribble out there, and he was caught out by Tete, who got it forward to Cabano, who chased down the right-hand side with the ball. Got it across towards Mitrovic, who scored 43 championship goals last season. And Mitrovic might be injured as the original ball went in from the left. From Robinson, he slipped. really awkwardly and then got Van Dijk running into the back of him. Then the Harrison Reed shot came in, which was blocked really well by Robertson. So hopefully Mitrovic can run that off, because like I say, he slipped awkwardly. His legs started to open up, and like I said, they got Van Dijk going in behind him, but he's back on his feet, the Serbian. Like I say, broke records all last season. Alexander Mitrovic scored 3 hat-tricks. 9 braces, and he only failed to score in 16 Championship games last season. Reed pokes it back towards Rodak as he battled in the midfield with Luis Diaz. Adebayo back to Rodak. I do apologise for that. No one wants to tell him to be quiet. Sorry if you can hear that background noise. As Harrison Reed gets it from Pereira. There's a Liverpool player down. I'm not sure who it is. Cabano stays on side. 1-on-1 with Andy Robertson. He's got the overlap of Kenny Tete. Finds him. Cross. Back post. Header. And it's in. Alexander Mitrovic continues his goal-scoring form. And we've got an upset in the first half of this game between Fulham and Liverpool. There was a player down for Liverpool as Fulham won the ball back, but they broke very, very nicely. Cross from the right-hand side from Kenny Tete. It was a floater towards the back post into the Fulham sunshine, where Mitrovic rose the highest to head at the far post beyond Alisson. And let's see how this unfolded. Henderson caught late. Or was he? Because the referee allowed play to continue. The ball was worked to Pereira, then to Reed. Cabano had to hold his run. He did do so nicely. He was 1-on-1 with Robertson. Fed the overlap of Kenny Tete. He just about swung it in. What a gorgeous ball that is to the back post. Alexander-Arnold could not deal with the height of Alexander Mitrovic. And from quite a tight angle at the far post, he's nodded it beyond Alisson Becker. And Alexander-Arnold will be disappointed he's not dealt with it better. And also Alisson, that's poor goalkeeping from the Brazilian. He won't be keeping a clean sheet for the opening day. And an upset could be on. And we must say, it's deserved. Fulham have been well in this game. And so far, I don't know if there's any VAR checks on that foul on Henderson as Fulham won the ball back. But so far, as it stands, it's Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. Alexander Mitrovic with the goal. He's backed himself his 25th goal in the Premier League in his 105th appearance in the top flight of English football. Henderson's still down. Something wrong with his left ankle maybe, but I don't think the goal's being disallowed. Let's have a look here. He hooked it forward. Oh, he was caught on the left boot by Palhinha, as then the ball that Henderson tried to play forward was headed by Tim Ream, and then found Pereira to Reed, to Cabano, to Tete, to the head of Mitrovic for the goal. But there's definitely shouts for a foul there. I don't know if it's enough to be overturned by VAR, but he's definitely trodden on his left boot there, Jordan Henderson. But like I say, play continued. Fulham broke quickly. Ball towards the far post. Mitrovic obviously exploiting the weakness of Alexander-Arnold, not being able to deal with aerial balls very well. Klopp's complaining. Not a sight that we're used to seeing. Joking. He does like to complain, Klopp. And we're back underway. 1-0. And they've already won the ball back. Thiago getting the ball stuck under his feet. Mitrovic running forward. Playing it through. In behind towards Cordova. Reed. And Alisson comes out to collect. Heart in the mouth moments here for Liverpool. As we're 10 minutes away from half time. And they are trailing once again to Fulham at Craven Cottage. Like I say, last time they faced each other in December of 2020. They took the lead in the first half through Cordova Reed. And this time, it's through Alexander Mitrovic. What an upset we could have. Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. And Liverpool just need to calm it down. Like I say, they've been okay, Liverpool. Like I say, from the 20th minute, from the 15th minute to the 30th, they were starting to make their chances. You know, Robertson had a shot that was offside. Diaz had the ball in the net with a nice finish, but that was well beyond the offside. You know, they've had a cross towards Salah at the far post, which was taken away from him. So they've created half chances, but like I say, Fulham have created their half chance as well. And the first proper chance they've had, they've scored very nicely with Alexander Mitrovic. The only thing now for Fulham is they've got to try and at least defend this lead until half time. As by the way, both teams are in their home strips for today's game. It's Fabinho, every outfield player in the Fulham half currently. Number 4, Virgil van Dijk. Did miss those 2 games where Fulham went unbeaten against Liverpool in the last Premier League season. Fulham was present, as he was obviously injured with his ACL injury. Alexander-Arnold, diagonal switch towards the box where he found Robertson, brought it down beautifully. Across it goes! And how on earth has Luis Diaz not got on the end of that? Warning signs for Fulham that they need to be careful, because that's an unbelievable crossfield pass from Alexander-Arnold, finding Robertson, who was left alone by Cabano and Kenny Tete. And as Robertson brought it down, he got the ball across, too much on it. That's more Robertson's fault than Diaz. Robertson got it across, put too much on it, and as the Colombian tried to help it in, he slid across, couldn't be found. Klopp's not happy with that, like I say. Way too overhit from Andy Robertson, who did pick up 10 Premier League assists last season. He's looking for his 50th in the Premier League, but he couldn't with that cross as it was overhit. But Liverpool are back in possession again. Thiago to Firmino, breaking the lines once again. Back to Thiago. Tried step overs, but Paulinho wasn't having any of it, and Cabano's fouled by Robertson in the Fulham half. Good tackle there, Paulinho. He's had a very impressive first half here, the former Sporting midfielder who they've signed in the summer for £20 million. He did make the Portuguese Euro squad, where he played the last group game against France and the round of 16 game against Belgium, where they were consequently knocked out of the Euros, Portugal. As Alisson clears from the pressure from Mitrovic, header won by Harrison Reed, goes fast Fabinho, who gets it to Robertson on the left, back inside, but intercepted by Harrison Reed, but there was a foul in the build-up as Robertson was being pulled to the ground. But yeah, very impressive so far from João Palhinha. Has the 14 appearances for his country, with the 2 goals against Luxembourg, both coming in separate games. Matip through to Henderson, gets it away from Tim Ream, but not from Anthony Robinson. As they've won the ball again, can they counter-attack quickly? Pereira lifted the ball down the left towards Robinson. He finds the American, but can't get beyond Joel Matip. Well dealt with by the Cameroon international. And he's got it down the line to Henderson. Tries to go around the corner to Salah, and he's found the Egyptian. Mo Salah, one-on-one with Adebayo. Gets it away from Paulinho. Has to hold it up, back into Henderson. Across to Thiago on the edge of the box. Through into the box to Diaz. Works onto his left foot. Who strikes it off the post? Hits the upright out to Arnold. Back in it goes. Towards Diaz. He keeps it alive. To the edge of the box to Thiago. Clips it in behind. Can't find Henderson, who's fell to the ground. And into the hands of Rodak it goes. Similar finish to the one he put in the back of the net before. But this time it was on his left foot. Across goal it went. Didn't come off the hand of Rodak. Straight onto the post and away. And another lifeline given to Fulham as they try and defend this lead that they've been given. I say that they've been given, that they've earned very well through the header of Alexander Mitrovic. Rodak gets it forward. Header Van Dijk. Harrison Reed loses that in midfield to Fabinho. Tries to get it in behind towards Mo Salah, overhit by the Brazilian. And it falls to the goalkeeper, Rodak, the Slovakian. 17 appearances for his country, where he made his debut in the September of 2020. Now with Robinson, the left back for Fulham, in their own half. Deco Dover Reed. Back to Robinson again. Further down the line it goes, looking for Pereira. Comes off him last, and it'll be a throw-in for Liverpool, as plays had to be stopped momentarily as Andres Pereira, just got caught on the back of the head by the head of Matip. Or was it by the chin? No, just by the head of Matip. He's been caught on the back of his head. So we're going to have just a stop momentarily as we've got 5 minutes left of this half. His play is started once again with the throw-in from Alexander-Arnold. It's now with Fabinho forward to Thiago on the halfway line. Gets into the Fulham half and gets it across to Alexander-Arnold. What pass will he find? He'll go for the simple one. Back to Joel Matip. As if Fulham do beat Liverpool, it would be their 8th victory in the Premier League against Liverpool. 6 of them coming at home if they win today. As Diaz is dispossessed again by Paulinho. What a performance he's had. Trying to get it held up by Mitrovic, and he's fouled the other way. Both players again stayed down, Diaz and Mitrovic. I'll need a replay on that. Let's have a look. The ball was there to be won. Yeah, it was Diaz. being fouled by Mitrovic there, but Mitrovic has just come out worse. He just fell awkwardly on his side. So it'll be a free kick for Liverpool, conceded by goal scorer Alexander Mitrovic. First ever goal he's ever scored against Liverpool in his 5th time playing the Reds. Thiago stood over it. They can get this in the box, but like I said, they'll have to try and beat the offside trap. Now they've worked it to the left-hand side to Robertson. Back to Thiago again. Then to Robertson, who's got the better angle for a cross. He will supply that cross towards the far post, over everyone. Headed away by Mitrovic on his far, as Alexander-Arnold on the edge of the box on the right-hand side. Salah lays it off to Arnold. Crosses it in. Headed by Tete, only as far as Robertson. Heads it back in towards Firmino. Headed once more towards Van Dijk. Headed on by Tosin Adarabioyo. Helped away by Harrison Reed. As far as Alexander-Arnold, he works it to Henderson. Ball into the box looking for Robertson. Header won nicely here by Anthony Robinson. Only as far as Firmino on the edge. Twisting, turning, trying to find space. Goes to Thiago. Spins it wide right to Arnold as he controlled it with his hand by accident. And Andy Madley gives it as a free kick. And Alexander-Arnold knew as soon as it hit his hand, he was going to be handball there. Like I say, he misplaced his control and it just came off his hand as it was held in an unnatural position. If you could like and subscribe if you are new, it would help me out massively. We are getting a bit of an upset here on the opening weekend of the Premier League. Fulham currently leading runners-up of last season, Liverpool, as Tim Ream takes the free kick. Header won by Robertson. It goes all the way across where Alexander-Arnold has to head away. As far as Harrison Reed, who helps it forward, hooked away by Fabinho. Still up in the sky. Henderson flicks on. Up towards Salah. He loses that to Tim Ream, cleared by Robinson. As far as Cabano, loses that to Robertson. So Thiago lays it back into Robertson in the Liverpool half. Slams the ball forward into the Fulham half, looking for Diaz. Header won by Adarabioyo. Up towards Palhinha, who battles with Firmino. Palhinha kicks it away, only as far as Tete. Clearance by Adarabioyo goes only as far as Matip. It's been helped back now to Alisson. Out to Van Dijk on the left. Clears it forward. Header won by Tete. Throw in for Liverpool in their own half. Van Dijk a little bit frustrated. 14 of his 16 Liverpool goals have been headers. So if Liverpool could work some more set pieces and get Van Dijk up there, he does like a header for Liverpool. Matip. Van Dijk. Coming up towards the 45th minute, with Van Dijk switching it out towards Salah. Header won by Robinson. Alexander-Arnold though. To Thiago, forward to Henderson. Lays it off into Van Dijk on halfway. Can they create one more chance before half time to try and get it level before the break? Alexander-Arnold, great ball into Thiago. Again, breaking those lines, but they've had to play it back into Alexander-Arnold after good pressure from Fulham. Arnold goes for the switch. Cut out by Kenny Tete. Heads it forward to Harrison Reed, who nods it forward to Cabano. Mitrovic looks to sweep a ball in behind towards Pereira. It was importantly intercepted by Joel Matip. And Liverpool can try and get forward again here. Robertson starting again, going to the side to Van Dijk. Henderson. Matip. Liverpool have won their first Premier League match in each of the last 4 seasons, and they've scored at least 3 times in those opening days in the last 4 seasons. They'll need at least 3 goals to have a nice comfortable victory today against Fulham, who lead 1-0 as we've got Diaz on the left. We're on the 45th minute. 2 minutes of added on time as Thiago switches out to the right hand side to Alexander-Arnold, who's got forward as he usually does. Lays it off into Matip. He dinks the ball in to the left hand side to Diaz, who heads it forward looking for Firmino, but it was well caught and collected by Rodak, the goalkeeper, who's not had much work to do other than the save from Robertson's shot, which was offside. Like I say, he'll have to perform well, Rodak, because he's got Leno breathing down his neck for that first team spot. Bernd Leno ending his 4-year stay at Arsenal after being replaced last season himself by Aaron Ramsdale. Rodak's kick Out of play it goes for a Liverpool throw-in in the Liverpool half. Mitrovic couldn't quite keep it in, as we've played 50 seconds of the 2 minutes that they've added on time. As it's Joel Matip. Across to Virgil van Dijk. 197 Premier League appearances for him. Coming up towards 200, obviously a lot of them coming for Liverpool and Southampton as well, as Alexander-Arnold tries the ball in behind for Mo Salah, dealt with by Tim Ream only momentarily as Harrison Reed heads away alongside Fabinho, nods it out to Alexander-Arnold on the right. Fabinho dawdling on the ball, but just about keeps it as he pokes it to Henderson after being pressed from Palhinha and Pereira. Matip swings it down the right-hand side, can't quite find Salah, and Tim Ream will let it run for a goal kick. Massive round of applause goes around Craven Cottage as we're nearing half-time, and it looks like Fulham will be going into that half-time break with the lead. 32nd minute goal from Alexander Mitrovic, assisted by the fantastic cross from Dutch fullback Kenny Tete. He beat Alexander-Arnold in the air and got it beyond the Brazilian goalkeeper of Alisson. Like I say, with the shade and the sunshine in that corner, I couldn't quite tell if it had hit the back of the net at first, but as he reeled away in his celebration, Mitrovic made us all aware that that ball had gone in the back of the net, and as the goal kick's taken, the referee blows for half-time. Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. We have got a current upset on the cards on the opening weekend of the Premier League season. Fulham, promoted first in the Championship last season, returns against the Premier League after a 1-year absence, and they got off to a good start. First 10 minutes was really positive, getting runs in behind, getting pullbacks which were intercepted or collected by Alisson, showing their intent for the game. Then Liverpool kind of came into their own, had the ball in the back of the net with Luis Diaz, but Robertson was offside with the chance he had prior. And it was very even. I think both teams were definitely finding ways to get in behind defences, trying to find half chances, and when the first real chance came, it was to Alexander Mitrovic, 32nd minute. Fulham won the ball in their own half after a dubious challenge on Henderson, which wasn't given by the referee, and they broke forward. Harrison Reed and Andres Pereira getting it out to Cabano on the right-hand side, who then waited for the support of his full-back of Kenny Tete, supported him very well with the overlap, fed it into the right-back, who then floated across towards the back post, and the 6'2" Serbian of Alexander Mitrovic gets Fulham's first goal of the season, putting them ahead against Liverpool in the 32nd minute, getting his 25th Premier League goal of his career. And then from then, Liverpool tried to get back in the game before half-time, couldn't quite find a goal, and as it stands at half-time, it is newly promoted Fulham 1, runners-up from last season, Liverpool 0. Fantastic first half from Fulham, really impressed with the way they've played. Not been scared, because it's Liverpool and they feel like they have to play a different way. They've played exactly the way they want to, and they reap the rewards of a first half lead. If you're watching, let me know what you're thinking. Put it in the chat. Like and subscribe. If you're going for half time, that's fine. Just make sure you come back in around 15 minutes time. As to be fair, I could do with a Salah goal in the second half. I do have him in my fantasy team. Like I say, Martinelli got me 8 points yesterday. Jesus got me 2. But if you've also got fantasy as well, let me know what your team's looking like, or who's scored you points in the first game and a half of the Premier League season. But yeah, fantasy's back. I can't wait. The Premier League's back. Upsets already occurring on us. Like I say, in that Liverpool side, no new signings have started. And in fairness, they've only made 3. Darwin Núñez from Benfica, Fabio Carvalho from Fulham, and Calvin Ramsey as well from Aberdeen for £6.5 million, who's currently not involved at Liverpool's training at the minute because he is carrying an injury. See what social media's got to say about this result. See what everyone's thinking. And like I say, if you've got any thoughts of the first half, let me know, because I didn't expect this, to be fair. I thought Liverpool were going to cut after last week in the Community Shield, and I just think nearly promoted Fulham away. You know, to be fair, it can be a daunting ground sometimes. Fulham, you know, it's very prestigious, it's very iconic, historic, and yeah, Liverpool just not being able to cope with them so far, the way they've played so positively. But Alexander-Arnold was definitely exposed there by Alexander Mitrovic and his lack of ability to deal with crosses and corners. That one time obviously was a cross, but I mean, when he's having to defend corners as well, you know, you definitely want to target Alexander-Arnold. As it stands, Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. Like I say, with the fantasy league, you know, I know quite a few people who've got Darwin Núñez starting in their team, and I think that was always going to be a risky game, because it's not a guarantee he's going to start. You know what I mean? Really is not a guarantee he's going to start. You know, we've seen it more often than not now. Managers taking their time to embed players. Obviously, difference for Luis Diaz. He came in and hit off straight away, but he feels like with Darwin Núñez, he does want to throw him in straight away. Yeah, I'm not sure when the next commentary will be. I will let you know. Make sure you like and subscribe. Then you can see when my commentaries are scheduled to happen. Like I say, thank you to my good mate Ben on the thumbnails again. If you want to check him out, his Instagram is in the description. If you want similar thumbnails for your channels, if you're a YouTuber or you whatever, he's a channel designer for me, thumbnail creator. He can do websites as well. His Instagram's in the description. But what a start to this Saturday set of fixtures in the Premier League. Other games we've got going on today: Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Leeds, Wolves, Newcastle, Forest, Tottenham, Southampton, all at 3 o'clock. Then Everton, Chelsea kick off at 5:30. And then tomorrow we've got Leicester, Brentford, Manchester United, Brighton, both at 2 o'clock. And then West Ham, Manchester City at 4:30, where we get to see Erling Haaland's Premier League debut. But Fulham have been very, very impressive. I think João Palhinha in the midfield, signed for 20 million from Sporting Lisbon. You can see why they've paid 20 million for the guy. He's fantastic. He's got Champions League experience. Played 6 Champions League games last season for Sporting, where he was involved in their 5-0 home thrashing by Manchester City. We did win the league with Sporting back in 2020-2021 season. They're just looking if this was a foul for the Mitrovic goal from Palhinha. He did trod on his foot, but obviously the referee, you know, at the time just didn't feel it was heavy enough for a foul. So maybe VAR looked at it and went, we haven't got enough evidence to overturn it, because at the time the referee didn't think it was a foul. I mean, it wasn't like his full boot trod on his foot or anything. It was kind of just like, it's kind of at the side of his foot. It's a difficult one. Liverpool fans, I think, will be aggrieved that it wasn't given as a free kick, but I think it would have been soft if it was overturned for sure. But Mitrovic, a fantastic header in the 32nd minute. Like I say, continuing his goal scoring form from last season, when obviously he scored 43 league goals, and I'm not tired of repeating that stat. That's his ridiculous stats from Alexander Mitrovic, and yeah, that's his 97th Fulham goal in his 178th appearance for the club. So only 3 goals away from the 100 club for Fulham. But yeah, the second half will be getting back underway very, very shortly. Obviously, Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp wasn't happy when that foul wasn't given on Henderson, and then when they went to score. But Klopp can complain all he wants, but a lot happened after that foul. His team should have dealt with Fulham a lot better than they did. So even though he can be aggrieved with the foul not being given, if he genuinely thinks, it was a foul, he needs to look at his own team as well. They weren't able to defend the counter attack quickly and the cross in from Kenny Tete. Be at the second half getting underway shortly. I was going to say Will Norwich, because I've literally just looked at Norwich, and they're getting beat by Wigan at home 1-0. Not a great start to the Championship season for the newly relegated Norwich, who got beat last week away at Cardiff, and they're currently getting beat at home to Wigan as well. But yeah, will Norwich... Well, I said Norwich again, because they're on my screen. Will Fulham be able to keep up their performance from the first half? Because that's the thing with these sides. They can usually start off well, try and, shake the opposition, but when the second half gets further and further on, they start to tire, and the real quality of the opposition comes into play. So that could happen, but it's first day of the season, the momentum, they feel fresh and ready to go. So it could be difficult for Liverpool. Definitely could be difficult. But for Fulham as well, in terms of their pre-season, they had their last pre-season game last week, and it was at Craven Cottage at home. So they have had a game on their home turf after a tour away from England. It was a 1-1 against Villarreal, Unai Emery's team. Mitrovic was top goal scorer in pre-season with 4 goals, so he's just continued that good run of form. And then for Liverpool, their pre-season, they played 6 games, including the Community Shield, and won 3, lost 3. Started off with a 4-0 loss to Manchester United, then bounced back with back-to-back victories against Crystal Palace and RB Leipzig, where in that RB Leipzig game, Núñez scored 4 goals in one half, and then slipped up again against RB Salzburg with a 1-0 loss, then bounced back with a Community Shield victory against Manchester City 3-1 last week, and then the day after they played another friendly. No one involved in the City game played in the Strasbourg game unless they came on as a sub for 2 minutes. It was a full, second team getting their minutes, and they've lost that at home at Anfield. Strasbourg, this French side, came to Anfield and beat them 3-0 a day after the Community Shield. Again, it was full second string Liverpool side. It wasn't any first teamers, but bit of a hit and miss pre-season, you must say. It's a mixed bag of results, that's for sure, for the Reds and Jurgen Klopp, who is now been at the club since 2015, and he's obviously signed a new contract last season where it will run till 2026, which means if he fulfills that full contract, he would have been at Liverpool for 11 years, which is absolutely crazy. Spent 7 years at Mainz in his first managerial job, and then spent 7 years at Borussia Dortmund, where he managed 318 games. But now with Liverpool going into his 7th year, he's managed 380 games 239 wins, scoring 843 goals. He's had a fantastic managerial career at Liverpool. He's really turned them back into the direction of winning titles regularly, and the big ones as well. Winning the Champions League, Premier League once, bringing the FA Cup and the League Cup home as well. Like I said, the second half will be getting underway in a couple minutes' time. See if Liverpool make any changes as well. Maybe Darwin Núñez to come on, Harvey Elliott or Fabio Carvalho to come back and haunt their former sides. But I'm saying it'll be interesting to see how the game does go if Fulham score another goal. If Fulham score the next goal and make it 2-0, and depending on if they score it and when they score it, it could be very, very difficult for Liverpool to bounce back, especially away from home as well. If it was Anfield, then obviously a completely different story. As the manager of Fulham strides back towards the technical area as they've got to go across the pitch. Marco Silva, appointed in July of last year, averaged 2.3 goals per game last season in all competitions. Got 1.96 points per match as well in the Championship to lead them to that title victory, as all players are back out on the pitch just waiting for some of the coaching staff to make their way across the field. It'll be Fulham kicking from right to left, Liverpool left to right, where their away fans are situated to the right-hand side of the stand as we look at it. So they will be attacking towards their supporters, Liverpool. As we wait for the referee's whistle, Andy Madley, that is, in the middle. We get underway, he blows the whistle, plays it back to Tim Ream. Diagonal ball towards the right-hand side, towards Mitrovic, who does head it on towards Cabano. Volleyed away by Van Dijk on the edge of the 18-yard box, but towards the halfway line, where Adebayo helps it forward towards Mitrovic, brings it down nicely. Can't quite keep it, though. And Robertson clears only as far as Adebayo, the young centre-half. It's back to Rodak, left-footed clearance from the Slovakian goalkeeper. Up towards Mitrovic. Headed on by Van Dijk. Fabinho flicks it forward. Headed on by Tim Ream on the halfway. Harrison Reed brings it down nicely away from Robertson. Pereira, first time ball, looking out wide for Cabano. Loses out though with an interception from a Liverpool man, but then Henderson loses out and fouls his man Palhinha. No questions from Jordan Henderson. Knows that he cynically tripped the Portuguese midfielder there. He's had a great start, like I say, to his Premier League season and career. João Palhinha is there. He is. Darwin Núñez warming up for Liverpool. Scored 26 league goals in 28 league appearances for Benfica last season. Scoring 13, scoring 3 hat-tricks and failing to score in 13 games. That's what really caught the eye of Jurgen Klopp, especially as well when he played Liverpool in the Champions League, scoring twice against them. See when he'll come on. No substitutes at half-time as well, just to update you on that. As Firmino loses out on halfway. Harrison Reed. Mitrovic trying to get it through the gap towards Cabano. Well intercepted by Liverpool. Trying to get it forward, but it's intercepted and cleared by Adebayo. Only as far as Fabinho. Gets it forward to Henderson. Hooks it out wide left looking for Diaz, but only falls as far as the right back, Kenny Tete. And here's Rodak again, the goalkeeper, sending it long up towards Mitrovic. Header. One. Keeps it away from Fabinho. Lays it off into Deco-Dova-Reid. Palhinha. Sprays it wide left into Anthony Robinson. Inside to Pereira. Tries to complete the 1-2 with the American. He's going to chase it ahead of Joel Matip, but the Cameroon international gets there first, lays it off into Alisson, who clears it, only finds Pereira, who keeps it on the left-hand side for Fulham. Driving inside, then outside. Nice little flick into Robinson. He gets a crossing. It's a dangerous one. It's headed away by Van Dijk. Only finds Pellegrini, who helps it forward for Fulham. Pereira nods it inside, looking for Reed. As far as now, Luis Diaz on the Liverpool left, trying to take on Tete, who is on a yellow card, but he runs out of pitch there, the Colombian winger, and it's a throw-in for Fulham in the end. Where for Fulham, each of their last 3 Premier League campaigns have ended in relegation. 2020, 2021, 2018, 2019, and 2013 and 2014. Can they change that duck of being relegated each time they're in this Premier League? Great ball to Cabano on the right, tackled by Robertson, falls only finds Harrison Reed, brings Tete into play, ball forward to Cabano, early cross, he slips, Mitrovic applauds the attempt, but he slips and he kicked it straight out for a goal kick for Liverpool. Got away with that one. The Reds, who are currently 19 games unbeaten in the Premier League, they've won 16 of them and drew 3. Ball forward by Alisson, it's a long one, header won by Tim Ream. As far as Harrison Reed, who brings it down on halfway. Can't quite find Cabano on the Fulham right, and it's a throw-in that will be taken quickly by, well, he wanted to take it quickly, Robertson, but he didn't have the movement for it. But the injury woes worsen for Thiago. He struggled a lot in his first season at the club with injury, Thiago, and it looks like they're going to have to make a change here. Pulled up, I think he was holding his left hamstring, maybe. Like I said, Thiago only played the 25 last season. He was out on the opening day against Norwich. He didn't play in that game. And then he only played 3 games in 2020 in the Premier League because of a knee injury. His progress at Liverpool has been very much delayed with injury. Obviously, the back end of last season was a little bit better. But 5 minutes into the second half, and like I say, I think it's the left hamstring. He's felt it, Thiago. Needs to be careful with injuries. He's now at the age of 31, making his 50th Premier League appearance, Thiago. And in those 50 Premier League appearances, he's won 33 of those games. So 50 appearances now, and in the 49 previously, he won 33 of them. I do apologise. I'll get the timer going now. So it looks like Thiago's having to come off. He's going to be replaced by former Fulham man Harvey Elliott, who was signed for Fulham at the under-18s level, made 3 first-team appearances for the club, 2 of them in the Premier League. He's yet to score a Premier League goal. So double change 5 minutes into the second half. Thiago's off with injury. He's replaced by Harvey Elliott, and the made man, the Uruguayan himself. The £67.5 million signing of Darwin Núñez makes his Premier League debut. He's on for the next 40 minutes of the game. Klopp not messing about. Thiago forced off of injury. He's been replaced by Harvey Elliott, the number 19, signed for $4.3 million in the July of 2019. And Roberto Firmino starts the season, but doesn't survive the whole game. Darwin Núñez is on for Liverpool, number 27. And we're back underway. Kenny Tetty's playing it in behind for Cabano, who will give chase, but I think he knows he's well offside as the flag goes up. Why is there no live links anywhere? Normally, some at least, not one anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to show you the game, but obviously copyright reasons, I physically cannot show the game. But yeah, I'm not sure where to look, man. I do apologise, but hopefully this commentary is enough for you if you can't find a link. But yeah, I do apologise that you can't view the game. But when Liverpool conceded first last season, they won 5 times, so they came back 5 times in 12 and lost twice when conceding first. It's Matip. Alexander-Arnold tries his first-time ball down the line looking for Salah, intercepted by Robinson, who goes back to Tim Ream in the 18-yard box of Fulham. He needs to clear it, the American. Makes a hash of it here, and Arnold wins the corner. Big round of applause from the away supporters, who need to get this Liverpool team up for it, because like I said, they had a slight spell in the first half where they looked dangerous, but they've been pretty off it for the majority of the game. Alexander-Arnold, who won the corner, will go over to take it. It's an outswinger. Darwin Núñez, who adds extra height of his 6'2" in the box. Crossed in. It's a good one. Comes off the chest of Van Dijk. Núñez, Van Dijk bouncing everywhere. And an offside flag's gone up anyway. I think as it went off Van Dijk first and it came off Núñez, Núñez was in an offside position. Let's see here. Cross came in, came off the chest of Van Dijk, and then it came off Núñez, who then was in an offside position. So after the pinball, it was never going to matter what happened afterwards because Núñez was offside. So he made his competitive debut last week, Núñez, against Manchester City, where he did score in the last minutes of the match with a header beyond Ederson. Halfway line, Robinson with a throw-in. It's a long one down the line where Mitrovic battles with Joel Matip, but he can't win the ball from the former Schalke man. And he plays it down the right-hand side towards Salah. Bullied off the ball by Tim Ream, and it's a throw-in for Fulham in the Liverpool half. Rise smile from Mohamed Salah as he can't quite win his team the throw-in. He's been very quiet. Mohamed Salah, who won the Golden Boot alongside Heung-min Son last season with 23. As Liverpool win it back in their right-back position. Cleared by Arnold, only as far as a throw-in just outside the Liverpool technical area for Fulham. Yeah, 23 league goals for Salah, 13 assists. He got most goals and most assists, which is just crazy. Got 8 Champions League goals in 13, but he failed to score in the last 6 games in the Champions League, which, you know, didn't really hinder their progress in terms of getting to the final, but he could have really helped Liverpool popping up with a goal in that Champions League final. Obviously, fell to the hands of Real Madrid once again with a 1-0 defeat that time. Liverpool have won the ball back again, and it's with Virgil van Dijk on the edge of the 18-yard box for Liverpool. Matip across to Henderson. Remember, we had 2 Liverpool substitutes. You can use 5 this season. Thiago off with injury, replaced by Harvey Elliott, who I don't think's had a touch of the ball yet until now, against his former club as well. Like I said, left Fulham in 2019 in similar circumstances really to Fabio Carvalho. Robertson, early cross towards Núñez, goes across him, all the way across the box where it can be collected by Salah. Plays it back towards Harvey Elliott. Inside to Alexander-Arnold, gets the return here, Harvey Elliott, the number 19. Oh, he trips over his own feet, and there's a counter-attack on. De Cordova-Reid breaks into the Liverpool half. Not much support with him. He will play to Pereira, who is in support. Tries to get the return to De Cordova-Reid, but Pereira's pass is intercepted by the onrushing Alisson, and Harvey Elliott gets away with a big mistake there. Like I said, tripped over his own feet, and it allowed De Cordova-Reid to break, but Fulham didn't make the most of it. And Liverpool get away with it massively there as Salah has it. Down the line it goes to Alexander-Arnold. He's definitely broke the offside trap there. He gets a cross in, pulls it back towards Harvey Elliott. He misses it with the swing, and the clearance is not very good. And Arnold can recycle in the box to Harvey Elliott. Lays it off in towards Fabinho. He can't take it in his stride. Falls to Mitrovic. He tries to break away. He bullies Henderson off the ball. Mitrovic, 1-on-1 with Van Dijk. He has to hold it up. He's got no support here, Mitrovic. He turns Van Dijk very well as he holds the ball up, and he lays it off into Pereira, the Brazilian. On the edge of the box, goes for the strike, which is deflected and cleared by Robertson. Only as far as Palhinha, as Fulham continue the pressure. Liverpool need to be careful they don't go too behind here. Palhinha, Harrison Reed, them 2 in midfield have been very, very good. As Palhinha loses out to Fabinho, but they can't get it forward to Núñez. Adarabioyo strides forward with the ball. Tries to find a ball in behind to the left-hand side, and he finds De Cordova-Reid. Beautiful ball here. The winger here, 1-on-1 with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Holding it up, playing it off into Andres Pereira. Back into De Cordova-Reid, who then puts a cross in. Dealt with by Van Dijk as he clears. Only as far as Tim Ream, who gets there ahead of Núñez. Lays it off to his right to Harrison Reed. Once more into Cabano in the box. Strikes it off the inside of the post and away. Van Dijk can only poke behind for a corner. Fulham are really after the 3 points today in this home game against Champions League runners-up last season of Liverpool. Well worked by Harrison Reed, worked it to Cabano. His shot couldn't be blocked by Van Dijk. It went beyond the Brazilian in the net of Liverpool, Alisson. And like I said, Neeskens Cabano very, very close to doubling Fulham's lead. 12 minutes into the second half, but they do have a corner. But Marco Silva will be scratching his head if his team don't come away with something from this game. They've been superb so far. Short corner by Pereira to Cabano. Out to Reed on the angle. Back into Pereira. Down the line to Cabano. Holding it up against Andy Robertson. Struggling to get across in here, Fulham. Works it nicely. Does work across towards the near post. Matip clears it to Salah on the left. Into Robertson. Tackled. Pereira. Ball into Reed. Twists and shoots and saved by Alisson. Easy save for the Brazilian in the end. As Liverpool try and get away quickly. Darwin Núñez. Across to Salah. Short ball towards Diaz. Picked up here by Tete. Who finds Cabano. Gets it across to Andres Pereira. In the Fulham half. Has to hold it up as Cabano stayed down. As he's knocked to the ground as he released by Diaz. Tim Ream. Who then kicks it out because Cabano stayed down as he was nudged off the ball by Diaz. What an upset we could have on here. Could Fulham go back-to-back games against Liverpool, winning? Like I say, from 1966 to 2002, Fulham did not win a game against Liverpool, and that was in that big gap between 1966 and 2002. They only played 15 times, but yeah, that's a long way. That's a long time to go without winning a game. As we've got another change, Fabinho's been replaced, the Brazilian holding midfielder. He comes off, and he's replaced by James Milner. Mentioned it before, he's starting his 23rd Premier League season as a footballer. 8th with Liverpool. He made his Premier League debut back in November of 2002, so he's going to be going 20 years in the Premier League. As Cabano's back up on his feet, and Liverpool are giving the ball back to Fulham as they kicked it out for their own player. Good sportsmanship from Liverpool. So like I say, James Milner's on, joined on a free back in 2015. Made his debut in 2002 when he was 16 years of age. He was coming up to his 17th birthday. 589 appearances he's got as Fulham can't play out from the back. He's been dispossessed. Darwin Núñez tries to go across to Diaz. He should have had the shot, intercepted by Fulham. They've cleared it momentarily by Adarabioyo. Headed back forward by Robertson. Oxford's Pereira who heads it forward to Mitrovic, who takes it down nicely. Lays it into Deco Dover-Reed, who slams it away on the right-hand side where Cabano can give chase. And Alisson gets there first, rushes out and clears down the field for Fulham. They have to be careful. Darwin Núñez probably should have scored there. He should have been greedy and took the shot. They try to play out from the back here. Adarabioyo tried to find Harrison Reed, but it was blocked by Luis Diaz. And as Salah got there, it deflected off Adarabioyo. It fell to Darwin Núñez on the left-hand side of the box. Instead of shooting, he tried to square it towards Luis Diaz, and it was cleared by Palhinha. And Klopp, frustrated. Like I said, the 23-year-old Uruguayan should have took the shot there, Núñez. But opted against it, and Fulham survive again. Half an hour to go, they still lead 1-0. Henderson intercepts a Fulham pass, headed away by Matip. Headed back forward towards Matip by Adarabioyo. Mitrovic will give chase against Van Dijk. And Van Dijk will get it to Alisson in the 18-yard box. He clears left-footed, not very convincing, but it falls to Milner, who goes inside to Henderson. 1-2, back with Milner. Gets it down the line. Comes off a Fulham man. It's a throw-in for Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp has won half of his games against Fulham previously. 2 wins in 4. Not won in his last 2 against them. Obviously, in the previous season, Fulham were in the Premier League. They did not lose against Liverpool as Jordan Henderson goes for a switch to the right side. Great ball to Salah in the final third. 1-on-1 with Robinson at left back. Positioning Salah well here, making his back to goal, but he does play it inside to Alexander-Arnold, completes a 1-2. Salah, across it goes, flick, save by Rodak. Milner in the box, can't get it forward. Harrison Reed can get it away, but Núñez with a... Deco Dover-Reed, what a turn. And they can be set away here. Harrison Reed on the left. Like I say, this chance all coming from a missed chance from Núñez as he flicked it towards Rodak, and it was a good save for the Slovakian. Fulham got it away, but the counter-attack's been stopped here, and Liverpool are now on the attack. Alexander-Arnold in behind, looking for Darwin Núñez, and Marek Rodak comes out to collect. But Liverpool do look a lot more dangerous now with Darwin Núñez up front. Like I say, Salah held it up well, got it inside to Arnold, completed the 1-2 as he got the return from the right back, got it across goal. Darwin Núñez was onside, and like I say, a flick at the near post, trying to get it beyond Marek Rodak, but the goalkeeper was strong and stopped the ball from going in the back of the net, and then Milner couldn't quite make anything of it after it deflected to him from off the goalkeeper. Núñez looking good. Probably should have had 2 goals by now. He squared the last one where he should have shot. And that time with a flick, he just about got a shot away with a nice tidy flick. But it was saved by Rodak. as Kenny Tete has to throw it in the Liverpool half. Throws it inside to Cabano. Goes through to Pereira. On the edge of the box. Gets away from Matip. Can't get away from Van Dijk. He wins it. Flicks it to Henderson to his right. In the holding midfield role. He needs to try and release it. He's held on for it too long here. He's getting pressed by Palhinha. But he does dink it down the right looking for Milner. But it's been cut out by Robinson. Poor ball from Henderson. Poor midfield play. And Robinson can clear down the Fulham left. Finds Palhinha. Deckled over Reed. Inside to Pereira. He's had a great debut for Fulham as he tried to look for Cabano in behind. Too heavy and straight to the feet of Alisson, who gets out of his feet quickly and forward to Virgil van Dijk. Is Liverpool still searching for an equaliser on the opening day against newly promoted Fulham? Like I say, Salah has scored in each of his opening day fixtures for Liverpool since joining the club. As Harvey Elliott feeds it into the Egyptian in the box. Ball across the box, flicked again at the near post, and this time he wasn't going to miss. It's 2-2 for Darwin Núñez. He scores on his Premier League debut. He is looking the right monster in this Premier League. He bags on his Premier League debut, showing his skill at the near post. Fulham will be frustrated they're not further ahead in this game, but when you don't get far ahead against these teams, they come back to punish you. And with just under half an hour to go, it's Fulham 1, Liverpool 1, and Liverpool will definitely be looking now to win this fixture. Great ball from Milner to get it out wide to Harvey Elliott, who scooped it over the top to Mo Salah. Down the right-hand side, instead of cutting in, he decided to go for the early cross towards the near post. And once again, he's gone for a flick. And instead of hitting it at the goalkeeper, he's hit it above the goalkeeper into the roof of the net. Cheeky finish from Núñez. He tried it a first time, it was saved. He's tried it a second time. What a flick that is. Like I say, he's tried it a second time within a couple of minutes, and this one has gone into the roof of the net, and he's got his side back level. He scored last week on his competitive debut in the Community Shield. He scored today in his second appearance in his Premier League debut. Like I say, this Darwin Núñez is looking some player for Liverpool. 25 minutes to go. Fulham 1, Liverpool 1, and it's going to count after a quick offside check. Salah, as he got the ball from Harvey Elliott, questions of offside. He wasn't offside. The goal counts. And there's also a question of Núñez being offside, but he was well onside, I think, from that angle. And like I say, it's Fulham 1, Liverpool 1. Núñez comes on. Within 15 minutes, he scored on his Premier League debut. Definitely looking a player, Darwin Núñez. But Fulham will be frustrated. They should have at least scored 2 or 3 goals, I think, because Liverpool haven't been fully at it so far. But that's what happens when you don't punish the big teams. They punish you back. As it's going to be a change here for Fulham. Neeskens Cabano, who hit the post about 10 minutes ago, who could have made it 2-0. He's replaced by new signing Manor Solomon. Signed on a season loan from Shakhtar Donetsk for the season. He's got Champions League experience. Played 16 Champions League games, the winger. He scored 4 goals, 1 of them against Manchester City and 2 of them against Real Madrid, so he can score against the high pedigree sides in Europe. As Liverpool are in again here, Salah brings it down beautifully. Can he get beyond Anthony Robinson? Good left-back defending there. Clears it to the feet of Solomon, who wins the throw-in as he's tackled by Alexander-Arnold. And Fulham just have to be careful because Liverpool are going to be building momentum now because they've got the goal and they feel like they can go on and win this game. So they've just got to try and hold out Fulham for the next 10-15 minutes, try and settle this Liverpool storm that they're creating. Robinson throws it down the line. Header inside by Mitrovic. Only falls as far as Luis Diaz, who goes back to Virgil van Dijk. Forward to Henderson on the halfway line. He sees a ball in behind, diagonal to the left-hand side where Núñez, can he bring it down? He can. He can get a shot away towards goal, cleared off the line by Tim Ream. Núñez again, nearly scoring a brace this time. It's now with Milner on the left-hand side. Held up by Kenny Tete as he wins the throw-in for his side. Tim Ream cleared it off the line. To be fair, he had a lot of time to clear it. Like I said, it was diagonal ball from Henderson to Núñez. He was able to bring it down ahead of Kenny Tete. And he was able to poke the ball towards the goal line as he got it beyond road at the goalkeeper. But it was quite a slow ball. It was always going to be cleared by Tim Ream. As again, Liverpool come at Fulham. Mohamed Salah has already got 1 assist. Lays it off into Harvey Elliott. Byline, cross, deflects into the sky. Caught by Rodak. Good goalkeeping from the Slovakian. Like I say, Liverpool really starting to get into their flow now in the last third of this game. Like I said, the ball went across. It was deflected by Tim Ream, actually. The Salah cross. And then the ball actually, as interesting as Núñez went for the flick. It actually went past his foot first, but the foot of Tosin Adarabioyo was right behind him, so it came off the foot of Adarabioyo onto the foot of Núñez, which he was flicking with, and that's how he went in. Quite fortunate, but you take them. Like I say, actually originally missed Núñez's foot, but Adarabioyo's foot was right behind Núñez's, so he just tapped it onto his foot, which then allowed the finish. But Liverpool fans will not care. It's 1-1, and they have a chance here to win this opening game of their campaign. Luis Diaz, they've got full control. They've got Fulham pinned back here. 22 minutes to go, pulsated on time. Joel Matip, ball forward, nicely done into Harvey Elliott, formerly of Fulham. Diaz, back to Henderson. Into Joel Matip. Out to Salah. Through to Milner. Fulham are struggling here. Milner dinked towards the far post. Nodded towards Luis Diaz. Good deflection there to send it behind for a corner. It was dinked to the far post where Darwin Núñez headed it back inside towards Diaz. He was able to get the shot away. And that's where a vital block came in for Fulham. Like I said, good nod down from Núñez because he gives you that height as well as pace. Nodded it down, and then Diaz from 6 yards out poked it towards goal, and it's a vital interception and block from Harrison Reed to send it away for a corner. And it's going to be an outswinging corner from Andy Robertson. Can Liverpool take the lead? Swung in, headed on by Mitrovic to the edge of the box to Henderson. He goes back to Alexander-Arnold. Ball in towards Robertson on that left. Can't win the header. Well, he can win the header. He goes backwards, the header, to Milner, who picks up the pieces. He then sends a cross in himself towards the far post to Mo Salah. Had to be tipped behind by Rodak. Good save from the Slovakian. But then an offside's actually been given from that cross. And it'll be a free kick for Fulham. But the save had to be made because Rodak didn't know Salah was offside from the cross. Yeah, he was just straight offside, the Egyptian, who assisted last week against Manchester City. And also scored as well for Liverpool. But in fairness to Mo Salah, when does he not score? You know, you feel like he's scoring every single game. Obviously scored last week from the penalty spot. And that was assisted today. And he will want to score because, like I say, he's scored in every single opening day he's played for Liverpool as they've misplaced a pass here. Solomon, ball over the top to Mitrovic in the box on the left, one-on-one with Van Dijk. Oh, he's got brought down! Penalty! Conceded by Van Dijk. Van Dijk saying no, pleading his innocence. But Alexander Mitrovic, as he went one-on-one with the Dutchman in the box, he nearly got beyond him, but was taken down before he could get to the ball. Obviously, VAR will check it, and that is Stuart Atwell for today's game. But this is a big turning point. Mitrovic broke away as he was fed through by Solomon. Did Van Dijk get a touch to the ball? Let's have a look. He was driving inside, went on the outside. Oh, I think it's a penalty. I don't think he's got the ball. Mitrovic tapped it away from him, and his right dangling foot brings down Mitrovic. It'll be interesting to see if this is overturned, because it's a big point in the game. Liverpool were really becoming dominant, and we're putting Fulham on the ropes. You could definitely see in time why Andy Madley's give the penalty. Van Dijk doesn't usually get beaten one-on-one, but that time he's been outwitted by the Serbian Mitrovic. Like I say, didn't touch the ball for sure. It's just if there was enough contact after that. Like I say, Van Dijk did not touch the ball. But was there enough contact for a penalty? Let's have a look again. Had a bite with the left foot, then with the right foot, then kind of pulled him down. Interesting to see which way the referee gives this. I think it's been given. VAR's had a look. And a penalty's been given. Mitrovic with the chance to bag a brace on the opening day for Fulham. On the opening weekend of the Premier League season. Alexander Mitrovic. And he scores past Alisson Becker. Van Dijk concedes the penalty. Won by Mitrovic. And he dispatches as well. And the shock is back on the cards as Liverpool trail away from home to Fulham. And who would have seen this coming? Alexander Mitrovic, he scored one header at the back post in the first half. He scored from the spot in the second half. Klopp contemplating what he has to do to get his team back in this game to get a point, even though he'll want 3. But at this minute in time, they're getting no points. Mitrovic, low-driven penalty. He opens up the body, bottom right corner. Alisson went the right way, but the power was too much for him. And in a turn of events where Fulham were really struggling in the game in the last 10 minutes since Liverpool scored their goal, they got one counter-attack after Liverpool misplaced a pass, gone in behind. Mitrovic won the penalty, put it into the back of the net, and they've regained the lead. And like I say, they were on the ropes for sure. And like I say, one misplaced ball from Liverpool, and they've been punished for it. Fulham 2, Liverpool 1, 17 minutes to go plus added on time. I definitely didn't see this coming. Once Darwin Núñez equalised and Liverpool carried on their momentum in their attacking, I thought Fulham will be lucky to see a point here. But now they're on track for 3. Unbelievable scenes on the opening weekend of the Premier League season. Van Dijk conceding the penalty. Like I say, he doesn't usually get beat one-on-one, but Mitrovic had the better of him, and he had the better of Alisson as he dispatched his penalty. In the Championship, Mitrovic bagged 9 braces, where he scored 2 goals in one game, and in this one, in the opening game of the season for Fulham, he's got a brace as well, as he heads it up into the sky to De Cordova-Reid, header won by Robertson, helped forward by penalty conceder Van Dijk. Loses out though, Tete in behind for Pereira, but the flag will go up for offside. Will it? Yes, it will. I was going to say, didn't think he'd put the flag up there, but he did eventually. The linesman, he was always offside. Just mistimed his run there. Andres Pereira, signed from Manchester United, and I think he's been superb. Andres Pereira today signed for £10 million. The Brazilian. Mitrovic as well, unbelievable. First signed for Fulham in January 2018 on loan. Had the second half of that season at Fulham and then signed permanently in the 2018-2019 season. Like I said, that's goal number 98 now for Fulham. Mitrovic, 2 more away from 100. Has got 15 minutes to go. Diaz, ball forward to Milner. Tries to turn toss in Adebayo. Does keep the ball away from the centre-back. Then plays it back into Robertson. Across to Henderson on the halfway line. Now finds Matip in the right centre-back role. He's going to stride forward and lay it off into Harvey Elliott. And inside it goes to Henderson. Being pressed by Mitrovic, and he's been forced back to Alisson, who only conceded 24 Premier League goals last season. He's already conceded 2 this season. Henderson, ball in behind, flicked by Darwin Núñez, always fires Tim Ream, who has to deal with it, and he does do so, gets it away from Salah and Núñez, and clears down the Fulham left, as they win a throw-in as Harvey Elliott pokes out for that throw-in that they've won. Like I said, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic, as we've got an upset here on the opening weekend of the Premier League season. Like I said, Mitrovic went on the inside, then tried to go back on the outside. Van Dijk definitely didn't get any piece of the ball. And then brought down Mitrovic as he tried to stride inside the box. And then a good penalty as well. Alisson got close, but Mitrovic just made sure he got enough power on it to see it past the Brazilian. And in now the 76th minute, it's now Liverpool with a throw-in. They were just showing replays of the Mitrovic penalty. So I didn't quite see that, but it's been thrown to Henderson, who's lifted it over the top for Darwin Núñez, who volleys across goal. Well wide of the post there from Darwin Núñez, but he's already scored on his Premier League debut, scored on his Community Shield debut as well. 2 appearances for Liverpool, 2 goals. He wants to try and get his 3rd, but that was always heading wide of the post there from the Uruguayan international. But every subscriber is very much appreciated, as Harvey Elliott, the former Fulham man, has already been brought on, and so is another former Fulham man, Fabio Carvalho. Played last season for Fulham in their Championship winning side, where he bagged 10 goals and 8 assists. But he's been signed for £5 million to Liverpool, as his contract was coming towards an end. Mitrovic tries to head it on towards De Cordova-Reid. Dealt with by Liverpool, but not for long, as Harrison Reed hooks it back forward. And Mitrovic will chase with Van Dijk, as he can't quite keep it in there, the Serbian. And it's a throw-in for Liverpool deep inside their own half. As, like I said, they're getting Fabio Carvalho ready. So Harvey Elliott's already been brought on. James Milner's been brought on. Darwin Núñez has been brought on. So they've used 3 of their 5 allocated substitutes. As it's Luis Diaz to be replaced in the first half, as it was 0-0. He did have the ball in the net with a good finish, but Robertson had a chance before that shot that he put in the net, and he was offside, and the flag was already up. So, you know, it's just shooting practice for him. But he did have the ball in the net. It was a nice finish. But yeah, he's been replaced by Fabio Carvalho. So back underway. It's battled here. Milner's the one who wins it. He clears it. Only finds Tim Ream, the Fulham centre-half. Long ball forward, and it's way out of play. And it'll actually fall to Diaz, who's making his way across the pitch, and he'll roll it back to his goalkeeper, Alisson. As Liverpool have not got long to try and save this game. So Virgil van Dijk in the 18-yard area plays it forward to Joel Matip, who did get 3 goals last season, 2 of them coming in the last 3 games of the season. Didn't play any minutes in the Champions League semi-finals or final, as a ball in behind here towards Milner in the box. He's been dealt with nicely by Kenny Tete. That's a throw in for Liverpool right towards that corner flag on the right-hand side for Liverpool. Can Fulham survive and get a historic opening day victory? Ball in by Henderson. Hooked away only as far as Matip, who tries to head it back out wide right. Only as far as Manor Solomon. The Israeli left winger is getting his footwork out and tries to play it back towards Robinson, who can't keep it in. It's a throw in for Liverpool again. But like I say, Fulham are trying to stop a joint top flight record of losing 7 home matches in a row in the top flight. Like I said, they lost their last 6 league games at home before being relegated last time, and then obviously if they lost today, then that would make sure they lost 7 home games in a row in the league, in the top flight. But at the minute, that's not happening, as they have conceded a corner though, Fulham, with Harrison Reed having to clear quickly. They've got plenty of height at Liverpool as it goes into the box, flicked on to the far post where Fabio Carvalho latches onto it with a volley against his former club, trying to hurt them straight away. Like I say, Alexander Arnold put it in towards the near post. It was headed away by Robinson, but only as far as the far post to his former teammate Carvalho, with a nice technique with the side of the foot, volleyed it towards goal, but over the bar it went. And Fulham can breathe again. Carvalho, Portuguese international, but did play for England's under 15s, 16s, 17s and 18s. But now he's a Portuguese under 21 international, where he's played 4 times for the under 21, scoring twice. And you may have seen in a funny Liverpool TikTok, his nickname is Bruno, Fabio Carvalho, because he looks a lot like Bruno Mars, which I found quite comedic, because he does look a little bit like Bruno Mars. Liverpool get a ball in the box here, falls to Nunez, and Salah taps in. Oh, what a strange goal for Fulham to concede. Salah has never not scored on the opening day for Liverpool, and he strikes once again. Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. What a strange goal to concede. How on earth has that happened? We need a replay for that. The ball breaks here to Harvey Elliott. Plays it to Alexander Arnold, who plays a ball forward and in behind towards Mohamed Salah. It was Tim Ream who actually flicked it behind him to Nunez. It then fell off Nunez's leg. Literally, Nunez knew nothing about it, just fell off his leg. He miscontrolled it straight to the foot of Salah. And with his quick reactions, with his left boot, he just slid it in to the bottom right corner. Beyond Rodak, under him, and into the back of the net. It's come out at absolutely nothing. Tim Ream flicking it beyond Adarabioyo, came off Nunez's leg, straight to Salah, 6 yards out, couldn't miss, didn't miss, and out of absolutely nothing, with around 9 minutes to go. Liverpool equalise once again. It's Fulham 2, Liverpool 2, and it could not have been anyone else but Mohamed Salah to score on the opening day for Liverpool. Nunez assist. He didn't know much about the assist, but he scored and assisted Nunez. They both assisted each other. Salah got the assist for Nunez's goal, and Nunez has got the assist for Salah's goal. 2-2. Mo Salah racking in the fantasy points. Literally, I was talking about how Fabio Carvalho, his nickname's Bruno Mars, and then the next thing you know, a ball pinged into the Fulham box, dealt with not very well by Tim Ream, and they've got the ball in the back of the net. They weren't ahead for long, Fulham. Scored their penalty in the 72nd minute, and they've conceded in the 80th. But they have got the ball in their right wing area. Harrison Reed crosses it into the box towards Mitrovic, beyond him, and Alexander Arnold can volley away only as far as a throw-in for Fulham on the opposite side. But they have come behind again. 3 goals in 16 minutes in this game. Marcus Silva will still be disappointed they didn't score more goals earlier on in the game. Robertson throws it into Solomon. Loses out to Alexander-Arnold. It's now Henderson. Back to Alexander-Arnold. Short ball. Robinson picks it up. Gets the ball across. It's a wild ball. It's too high. It's too hard hit. And there'll be a Liverpool throwing on their left-hand side. Needs to be doing better there. Anthony Robinson. Joined from Wigan in 2020. Long switch towards Salah. Cut out by the American left-back. But only as far as Alexander-Arnold sets Salah on his way again. But Tim Ream's there to cut it out and kick it out for a throw-in. The man who unfortunately flicked it beyond his defender, who looked like he was going to deal with the ball in. It fell to Nunez, who miscontrolled the left leg, but it fell nicely to Salah. And he was able to finish. And he's on the ball again. Salah on the right. Goes inside to Milner. Tries to get it back into Salah there, Milner. He does keep it, though. He's tackled. He's been forced out wide, where Alexander-Arnold crosses it in quickly. Headed towards the edge of the box, where Deco Doveri picks it up. Gets it towards his front man, Alexander Mitrovic. Fulham still trying to get away with the ball here as Fabio Carvalho fouls his former teammate. And Fulham can breathe a little bit here. As we have 6.5 minutes to go. Pulse added on time. It's still Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. It's been a fantastic game of football. Tossing at Adebayo with the free kick. Just had the Fulham half. Could we get another upset? Fulham have been in the lead twice with Mitrovic goals. Ball looking for Mitrovic on the edge of the 18-yard box. Won by Van Dijk. Milner forward to Elliott. Twists Palhinha very nicely and concedes the free kick. Just inside the Liverpool half. Well won by Harvey Elliott, the former Fulham man. Alexander-Arnold just inside the Liverpool half. Assessing his options and gets it forward to Harvey Elliott. Back to goal, but he's allowed to turn forward. Lays it off into Mohamed Salah. Ball looking for Nunez. Cut out by Tim Ream, but straight back to Salah, who looks again in behind for Nunez. Can't find him. Fulham have it back. Palhinha. Out to left back Robinson. Down the line it goes. Looking for Andres Pereira, but it's Alexander-Arnold to get there first. And he goes back to his goalkeeper, Alisson. Liverpool drew 8 games last season, but they won't want to be starting with a draw. They don't want to be dropping points to Fulham away. These are the games that we want to be winning against the newly promoted sides. There's a long switch looking for Robertson. Can't be found. Tete's now with Robinson. As Tete's clearance only fell as far as Henderson. Now across to Van Dijk. Once more to Matip. He strides forward. Plays it into Alexander-Arnold. Into the feet of Harvey Elliott. Into the final third. Lays it off into Salah. 1-2. Back with Harvey Elliott, the new number 19 for Liverpool. Gets it onto his left foot. Tries to play it through towards Salah. It deflects out for a throw-in. It looks like if anyone's going to score, it's going to be Liverpool. Mitrovic wins the free kick there as he got ahead there with the throw-in. He was brought down by Alexander-Arnold. Well, won by Mitrovic. His team was getting sucked in there, but as he won the ball from the throw-in, he was also brought down. Definitely bought the free kick, but sometimes that's what you need to do. Klopp looking on. He won't be happy with this. He'll want the 3 points. As Rodak takes the free kick up towards Mitrovic, who won it. He does win the header towards Solomon. He brings it down nicely. The new signing from Shakhtar Donetsk. Gets it inside to Pereira. Tries to go across to Harrison Reed. Well intercepted by Carvalho. Now Milner. Quick ball over the top towards Darwin Nunez. He's already got a goal and an assist. He slips but gets back on his feet and keeps it alive. Then tackled by Kenny Tete as support was slow in coming. But then it's been won back by Robertson. Flicks into Nunez, who then loses it again to Tete. Deco Doveri brought down by Carvalho again. Free kick for Fulham. Free kick for Fulham. Although the Fulham might be, and Marco Silva might be disappointed, their side might not win this game, despite having so many chances to go far, far ahead. You know, it is Liverpool at the end of the day, so a point is not a bad result at all. Rodak with the free kick from the foul. Up towards Mitrovic again. Header won by Van Dijk. Up towards the halfway line where Adebayo heads forward. Palhinha loses out to Nunez. Ball forward by Henderson to Elliott. In behind looking for the Egyptian Salah. Robinson deals with him well. Plays it back to his goalkeeper, Rodak, who clears first time. Up the field, Mitrovic again wins the header. Can't find Solomon. He finds Alexander-Arnold, who finds Salah. He was offside anyway. He was tackled by Polina, but he was offside. Looks like Fulham are going to make a change as well. Tom Kearney, club captain, alongside Tim Ream and Mitrovic. They're kind of like the three leaders in the Fulham squad. Looks like he's going to be coming on. Played 26 games in the Championship last season. Tom Kearney scored 3 goals, all of them in victories, but he did miss 18 with injury. And last time in the Premier League, he was injury struck. He only played 10 times, 1 goal against Palace that time. Like I said before, he's had 15 injuries, separate injuries since 2016. Tom Kearney, missing 492 days of football. '88th minute. We're going to find out added on time soon. I think Mitrovic has won his team a throw in here. Andres Pereira, fantastic competitive debut for the Brazilian in that more advanced midfield role. I think he's been superb. I think he'll be a dangerous signing for Fulham. He signed a contract until 2026, so a 4-year deal with an option of an extra year. It's his 4th time playing Liverpool. He's never beaten them, but he could be getting a positive draw for his side. He's going to be replaced by the Scotsman Tom Kearney. He's been at the club since 2015 after signing from Blackburn. This is his appearance, number 246 for the club. The number 10. And here he is on the pitch now. Throwing for Fulham. We're in the 89th minute now. Kenny Tete with it in the final third. So could Fulham maybe spring in a surprise attack? Throws it into Deco-Dover-Reid. Tete hits it off Robertson. Falls back to the Dutch fullback. Plays down the line. Comes off Milner and wins another throw in for his side. Tete again just taking his time, as this is a valuable point for Fulham against one of the best teams in the world. Tete throws it into the space for Deco-Dover-Reid. Crosses it towards Mitrovic. Header won by Van Dijk. Back on as far as Tete. Who hooks it back forward off the head of Henderson. Adebayo finds Deco-Dover-Reid, who's allowed to bring it down, but can't quite get beyond Andy Robertson. He tried to take a quick throw in, but Deco-Dover-Reid wasn't allowing it. I think the referee wants a word and he wants to book. I think he's booked Deco-Dover-Reid, but Robertson's just trying to tell him to get on with it. I don't know if he did book him actually, but you know, Robertson understands the mind games and he just wants to get on with it. We've hit the 90th minute. How long are we getting added on? 5 minutes. Can someone find a winner? Matip's long ball forward towards Salah, cut out by Tim Ream. Throw in for Liverpool. Like I said, Liverpool have won their previous 4 games on the opening day, scoring 3 goals at least. What do they need to score to win this opening day? They need 3. They need 1 more to get that. It's almost like it's written. Van Dijk chips it out wide, looking for Salah. Good header by Robinson. Falls to Mitrovic on the far left-hand side. Playing it through forward towards Manor Solomon, who can't quite get there. Matip, heavy touch, nearly dispossessed, but he wins it. He keeps it. He plays it forward as far as Adebayo, who sends it out wide left for Fulham. Towards Solomon, who can't quite keep it in himself. Throwing for Liverpool, which Henderson will take quickly. Throws it back to his centre-back. Matip towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Van Dijk. Robertson. Balled across to Joel Matip. 5 minutes of added on time. Will we get a winner in this enthralling first game for both Fulham and Liverpool in this new Premier League season? It's Solomon battling with Harvey Elliott, but Harvey Elliott wins it. Milner, Salah, Elliott. Can't quite find Salah. Does deflect though. And Trent Alexander-Arnold throwing. Quickly taken. Can it be brought down by Salah? No, it can't. Tackled by Tim Ream in the 18-yard box. Cleared to Mitrovic. He's had a great game with a brace. He gets beyond Matip. He keeps it in. Could the counter be on? He has to hold it up and he loses out to Matip. But he does win the throw-in for his side. He's had a fantastic game, Mitrovic, and he's gone down here. Mitrovic, I think he's struggling with cramp. He's worked his socks off up front for Fulham. 2 goals today. 1 header from the back post. And he has won man of the match. And deservedly so. Scored from the back post with a header in the 32nd minute and then a penalty to put his team 2-1 up in the second half. Unfortunately, that might only result to a draw. He's now on 98 goals for the club. him definitely deserving man of the match, scoring 2 goals. But I think a shout-out needs to go to João Palhinha, the new signing from Sporting Lisbon. I think Andres Pereira's had a really good game as well, the new signing from Manchester United. Then we can't forget the likes of Salah and Núñez scoring and assisting for Liverpool. As Liverpool win, they're throwing themselves. They won it back and then they tried to clear up the field, but it was blocked by a Fulham man. They've just got over 2 minutes, Liverpool, to try and find a winner on their opening day. Throwing headed forward by Palhinha. Henderson, Reed, Kearney. Can't find a Fulham man. Henderson heads on as far as Reed, who loses out to Carvalho. It's now a Núñez. Ball forward towards Salah. Tackled by Ream. No, he's not. He's got beyond Ream, but he's not got beyond Robinson. Good tackle from the fullback. Throw-in for Liverpool. I think I'm going to take their time with it because I'm currently just looking at Anthony Robinson. I know it's going to be a change. Signed yesterday on loan from Brighton. Shane Duffy's going to try and see this game out for Fulham. And like I say, it'll be a valuable point. He's going to replace Decordova-Reid. He's also had a good game, the Jamaican. He scored in the last game between these two sides at Craven Cottage when they drew 1-1. He's not scored today, but it looks like he's going to be involved in another draw at Craven Cottage where it's 2-2 this time. So Shane Duffy, like I said, signed on loan from Brighton yesterday. The number 5 comes on to see this game out for the last couple minutes. Alexander-Arnold pokes it forward. It finds Harvey Elliott, tries to come inside on his left foot. Edge of the box. Henderson shoots off the bar! Núñez headed away by Darabayo. Henderson, how close do you want to get? Robertson throwing, taken quickly to Carvalho. Lays it off into Van Dijk. 50 seconds left. Back out to Robertson on the left. Final third. Back into Van Dijk. He's got the angle for a cross, but decides to go across the pitch himself to Matip. So close for Liverpool. Off the bar by Henderson. Arnold tries to work onto his left foot. Back onto his right. Goes inside towards Milner. Cut out by Mitrovic. And his pass towards Solomon's been intercepted by Alexander-Arnold. And with 25 seconds left to play, I think that could be it. Last big chance for Liverpool came from Henderson around 22 yards out. First time, side foot, beat Marek Rodak, who was just hoping the woodwork would save him, and it did just that. The woodwork saved him, and Jordan Henderson, so close to scoring for Liverpool to win it. He might get an assist though, in behind towards Darwin Núñez as we've played the 5 minutes of added on time, and it's all up to Andy Madley now when the whistle will go. We've played the minimum 5 minutes of added on time. Marek Rodak, he's got the ball in his hands. And into the air it goes. Still no whistle yet from the referee, Andy Madley. Mitrovic heads it on, only as far as Van Dijk, who heads forward. Only as far as Palhinha. Chested down by Mitrovic. Can't quite get there ahead of Matip. It's now Alexander-Arnold. Looking for a ball over the top. Header won by Robinson. Helped by Reed, only as far as Milner. And that's it. The first game of the season for both Fulham and Liverpool ends in a very exciting 2-2 draw. Liverpool drop points on the opening day. Not what they would have wanted, but they've seen clear link-up here between their 2 new stars for the season. But in the first half, it was 1-0. Mitrovic with the goal, back post header, giving Fulham the lead. And then we've had 3 goals in this second half where Darwin Núñez was brought on early in the 50th minute, and 14 minutes into his Premier League debut, he was on the score sheet, flicked it into the back of the net to give Liverpool the equaliser at the time. And then literally 8 minutes later, Virgil van Dijk, very unlike him, conceded a penalty as Mitrovic broke away, went inside, tried to go back on the outside, and then Virgil van Dijk was able to bring him down, and they won the penalty, and they got back ahead there, Fulham in the 72nd minute. But then 8 minutes later, in the 80th minute, no one else but Mohamed Salah got the equaliser. It was a fortunate goal. It was a ball long up into the 18-yard box where it was flicked behind his own defender by Tim Ream, fell off the leg of Darwin Núñez, straight into the path of Mo Salah. Easy 6-yard finish for the Egyptian. And like I said, for Mohamed Salah, he scored in each of his opening days for Liverpool. 6 opening day games for Liverpool. He scored in every single one of them. He was never in doubt to not score today. And on the opening day, Fulham will be frustrated that they've not got more than 3 points. But against Liverpool, runners-up last season, in the Premier League, runners-up in the Champions League, first day of the season, 2-2 draw. Fulham can't complain, but Liverpool will not be the happier side, that's for sure. But on opening day, like I said, Liverpool will be frustrated, but so will Fulham. They definitely had chances to go and win that game. But now for Fulham, they've got to keep up, definitely got to keep up that kind of performance, because if they can keep up that kind of performance against the bottom half teams, they could definitely pick up a lot of points and probably stay in their division. They've got a good manager as well in Marco Silva, who's got Premier League experience. But if they play like that every game, or to a certain level, or to a similar level, then they could definitely have a good chance of staying up. Definitely many positives to take for Marco Silva. Many things to think about for Jurgen Klopp, as obviously he's got quite a few injuries at the minute, but as you saw, Darwin Núñez came on and the game changed. They looked a lot better with Darwin Núñez up front. He ended up scoring and assisting. It wasn't enough for the 3 points, but it was enough for one. They don't finish the game. They don't start the season with a loss. And for Fulham, they avoided matching their 7 top-flight home losses in a row. They had 6 losses at home at the end of last season, and if they lost today, it would have been 7 in a row, matching a top-flight record that was put in from 1961 to 1962. They've avoided that. They've picked up a very solid point, a deserved point against Liverpool. And at the end of this game, lunchtime kick-off at Craven Cottage, it ends Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. What a game. What a start to the season. We had a great game yesterday between Crystal Palace and Arsenal, which ended 2-0. Martinelli scoring and an own goal from Mark Gahey. And then today, 2-2. Mitrovic with the brace. Núñez with a goal and an assist. Salah with a goal and assist. And it ends Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. And that is the end of the commentary for today's game. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you are new. Another commentary, hopefully next week. Subscribe and put your notifications on so you know when that commentary is going to be. But for me, it's the end of the game. Fulham newly promoted and causing new problems for Liverpool as they nick a point away from the runners-up from last season with a 2-2 draw. Mitrovic with 2. Núñez looking dangerous. Will Fulham survive? And will Liverpool be able to win the league? We'll have to wait and see. But both teams start the season with a point apiece.